And we're live. Or at least YouTube says we're live. I'm going to tweet out the link. And hello, do we have viewers? Do we have people in the stream? I don't know.
Still says it's waiting for me.
Well,
Oh,
I just
it
saw
might
it
be
come
a
up.
different. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I think we are live. All right. So say hello if you're in the chat and if you can hear me. If you can hear me, also, please type the word disturbance so that I know that you can A, hear me, and B, that you're here. We're going to be reading Act 2 of the
Randy. Sorry.
Oh, hey, it's ready. Yeah, we're gonna read Act 2 of Homestuck. I am joined by Evan and Hex. Why don't you introduce yourselves first, Evan?
I'm Evan, at Heavenly Evan on Twitter.
And Hex?
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
Did you have more to say about
You
yourself?
still going?
Oh no, with no vowels in the heavenly.
Good point. Good point.
Yes.
Besides
I'm
Y.
Hexepher. Hexepher on Twitter also. My pronouns are they, them, and yeah, I'm excited to do this.
Oh yeah, my pronouns are he, they.
Okay, my pronouns, by the way, are he, him, which I didn't mention before, but they're on my Twitter, so I figured most of the people who found the stream found me through Twitter. But anyhow, okay, so let's, I guess, so I'm on Homestuck.com here. If you're watching on the stream, I'm guessing you can probably just read along on the stream, but if for whatever reason you want to go into Homestuck.com to follow along on your own browser or what have you, then that'll do too. I am going to actually, one thing I didn't kind of introduce newbies to previously was the map. I'm going to go to the read link on Homestuck, where it has a list of all the different adventures, and I'm going to go to the map on Homestuck so you can see this very attractive map of all of the different acts and parts of Homestuck. The first one was the Note Desolation Plays, Act 1, which we covered last time. We're doing Rays of the Conductor's Baton, Act 2. I'm a fan of the titles, but I don't... I feel like we can probably just go into it. I mean, it's entirely possible that there may be people who are joining this stream who did not watch the previous stream, but that's their loss, I guess. So I'm going to click on Act 2, Rays of the Conductor's Baton, which takes us to the very page after end of Act 1, which we were on before. So if you want to know what actual numerical page we're on page 248. How do you guys feel like we should divide up reading duties? Do you have any preference on that?
I have no idea, and I think we're gonna be doing like an interactive soon, which will make this even more complicated.
Yeah, I forget.
That's true.
Should I be showing you guys my screen?
I'm watching the stream, but it's a little slower than
same.
the actual.
Yeah, so it's the stream is going to be like a good 15 seconds behind, I feel like. But so maybe when we get to an interactive, I can switch. I can show you my screen, and we can switch over to doing that. I presume it's probably better to have the stream open so that y'all can have access to the chat. But so all right. I think. I don't know. I'll just go ahead and read this bit. Years in the future.
Alternate pages.
Yeah, sure. Or we could give like one of us reads the prompt and one of us reads the narrative text. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
I'll start off by reading this thing. I know it's on the next page, and if one of you wants to read, I don't know if you remember what's on the next page after this, but it's a very text heavy thing. Anyhow.
Oh yeah, that.
Sammy's here. Sammy says after last stream he got interested in reading on his own and he's enjoyed it. How far did you get, Sammy? I mean, it's going to take you a few seconds to catch up to the stream to answer that, but I'm curious to know how far you got. Anyway, years in the future, but not many, a wayward vagabond records a stuttering step in the sun-bleached dust. And so I'm going to click that, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, this gets its own little page that's not like a numerical Homestuck page.
I believe at this point, the way end of Act 1 happened was that they destroyed the suggestion box.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
right.
this part was what was on the thread of the suggestion box instead of what the actual suggestion box was.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. So that's why it doesn't get its own like numerical page. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we have our little dude there. It says Homestuck at the top of this. I don't know why that is, but walking along, sees a thing, close up on his eyes. I have the what pumpkin made a plush of this character, or for fans by fans, or whoever does their merch made a plush. I have that plush. It's very it's very huggable. It's like the size of like a, I don't know, like a human newborn.
Wow.
It's kind of interesting.
I have like a scale mate and a crocodile. Those are the two plushes I have.
Nice.
They're very comfortable.
And then we see the Spirograph logo, and that's it. So back to this page, years in the future, but not many. Okay, so I'm going to click through to Act 2. In Act 2, we get the classic game FAQs. I don't know if this site's layout has changed since 2009. I have a feeling it probably hasn't, because it's been
Did it go check
for like 20 years. Does either of you want to read the game FAQs by Tentacle Therapist?
It's a lot.
It is a lot. I can try.
Actually, this is a short one.
It is. Is it a short one? I can try.
This one's 4 paragraphs.
Go for it.
Okay, hold on. Before we go, Sarah's asking, was the suggestion box integrated into Homestuck or in a forum or something? I believe it was on the MSPA forums. Is that right?
Yeah, it was like a forum, I believe.
Yeah, and would he just take? He would take. He basically picked whichever he wanted. Like, you would reply with a forum thread, and I don't think it was like he took the first one. I think he did that with the character names, where he took the first one, but I don't think that was the case with actual commands. I think he just picked the ones he liked.
Yep.
Were you guys reading like from the very beginning?
No, were you?
Like, no. I think I hopped in like mid Act 5 or end of Act 5 or something like that.
Whenabouts were you, Evan? I know you were reading before I was.
Evan, where did you go?
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hello.
Sorry.
It's all right.
What? Continue.
Yeah, we're when did you hop in and start reading Homestuck?
Act 6.
Mine was during Act 6 too.
Yeah,
I think you were reading before I was.
During like the part where Act 6. Yeah, it's a bit during Act 6. I don't remember how I started.
I think I started somewhere between parts 1 and 2 of the Dream Bubble walk around, Openbound.
Okay, I think I actually caught up after that.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I don't remember, because like it takes so long to read that like when you start
those were so long.
And when you end, there's going to be so many updates in between.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. Well, there's
yeah.
Have you read any of Homestuck too?
I haven't read
caught up
that much of it. But I will probably go to it once I actually do like participate in the post canon stuff. I haven't really had the time for that.
And you, Hex, have you read any of the like post canon stuff?
I think I read like a couple of updates. And I read like the summary of one of the epilogue branches.
I really like the epilogues. I know some people didn't, but
they were a little much for me.
they were a little much. Yeah, Rachel's noting in the chat that the game FAQ walkthroughs are a delight. I think the game FAQ walkthroughs were like one of the first like real hooks in me. Anyhow, Evan, did you say you wanted to read?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay, so we have this page. It's a game FAQs. Under PC miscellaneous immersive simulation, there's Suburb beta. There are 4 walkthroughs. One of them is by Tentacle Therapist, and then there's Sanctuary Remix, Winnie the Poop 2, and Chaos Demon.
Two of those were posted on 411, which is today.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Suburb Beta FAQ walkthrough by Tentacle Therapist, hosted by Game FAQs. Last updated 2009 413. Suburb Beta walkthrough version 1.0, April 13th, 2009 by Tentacle Therapist. Table of contents. 1. Caveats and condolences. And 2. Walkthrough incomplete. So we're on this section, caveats and condolences. I'd be inclined to dispense with the trite even under less pressing she's very wordy.
Yep.
I'd be inclined to dispense with the trite even under less pressing circumstances. Needless to say, I'll forego the inscrutable ASCII banner, which typically heralds the striking freefall of these documents. I'll also resist the urge to brandish any copyright marks or the particular neurosis that concerns itself with the theft of the utterly mundane. I'll allow other deranged prospectors to stake claims on their worthless plots as the woods burn around them. My introduction will be sparse. There will be no majestic prose blustering into the sails of a galleon as we embark on this voyage together, nor will there be any ham-fisted prose whipping its limbs under a bedsheet like a ridiculous ghost. For that matter, I won't. I won't set the stage or dim the lights. The mood, you will see, will be set soon enough. Since you are reading this, chances are you have installed this game on your computer already. If this is true, like many others, you have just participated in bringing about the end of the world. But don't beat yourself up about it. There was never anything you could have done to prevent it. The end is happening right now as I type and as you read. I have come to understand that we were always doomed through our collective ignorance, and now further doomed by those few who know and struggle to flee. If you're lucky, you'll be among the smaller subset of the latter who are successful. What I mean is, while that game you installed is just one more grinding slab of rock sealing our planet's crypt, it is also your only hope to live. I'm presently faced with the same conundrum as you, and though I speak with more experience, my own outcome is far from assured. I will play the game, as much of it as there is to play, and record my findings here. If you want to live, you will do as I instruct. My condolences. TT.
I adore her writing style. By which I mean Hussey's writing style.
So floral.
Yes. Sammy's asking in the chat, I didn't follow much of game FAQs, but did writers commonly write walkthroughs during their first playthrough? I mean, I would assume not, but like as she mentions in Act 1, she talks about how like she's trying to consult them and finds that they're not there, so she's I don't know, like fleshing out what's there because there's partially completed ones. I know that they would like go up in like fits and spurts, like you'd have like half finished ones up there on game FAQs.
Yeah,
for sure.
they even have like a symbol next to each of the FAQs to tell you how finished they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a feature of game FAQs.
Yeah.
God, what a time.
All right, turn the page. S. It's a sound page. Get our heartbeat sound. Things going dark outside of John's house.
Yep. Fire goes out.
A menacing pair of eyes under his bed. So John's home, having been hit by a meteor, is now no longer where it was. It is now on a towering cliff above a sea of clouds.
See, when I first read this, that's not what I interpreted this as. What
Did
I
you interpret it
interpreted,
as the rest of the planet had been destroyed, but not him?
I had interpreted, yes, that there was a big crater, and his house was in the very middle of it, and he was still
Yeah.
on Earth. He was still wherever he was.
Well, we'll get there.
Yep.
Turn the page. The kernel divides. The two halves go their separate ways, leaving behind the sprite portion. Hex, do you want to read the commands?
I sure do. Boy.
Yeah, we should probably mention, like, at this point, the command box was still closed, right? So where these commands were coming from was not clear to the reader at the time. But
there's a bunch of gates that appear before
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
And then you have the sprite transforms into like a simulated version of the Harlequin doll. What is left of the sprite undergoes a mysterious transformation. For a moment, you thought you heard someone say "boy," as if whispered in the periphery of your awareness. It was probably just your imagination, though.
You there. Boy.
So this used to be a walk around. They do have like a normal version of it.
Oh, I thought I had Flash
Look.
enabled.
Flash is
I'm
blocked.
I'm gonna enable
there's
Flash.
a show me anyway.
Yeah, and then it just takes me to another thing. Here we go.
I'm gonna share. Do you want me to share my screen with y'all so
Yes,
that?
I think that's a good way to do it.
Sense.
Yeah. So I'm gonna share screen but not audio, if that's all right.
Sure.
Yep. Ooh,
Are you guys getting my screen now?
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so we have our click this to walk around. Use the mouse, arrow keys, or WASD keys. Click on various objects. Command
Oh,
menus.
shit.
Outstanding flash.
Sorry, there's a loud bird.
Ooh, a loud bird.
Hopefully it does not do that too much.
You can. Do you want to read the?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, go
okay.
for it.
Boy, open this door and walk through it.
I actually no. Before I do. Oh,
Boy, go in here.
Where am I going?
Where are you going?
Yeah, the layout of this house is very confusing sometimes.
Yeah, this is not one of the better programmed games.
Oh yeah.
Examine the strange blue vase.
It is the piece of cruxite you carved with the totem lathe. When its contours were scanned, the alchemitor was able to produce that tree. How odd.
This large platform. Good grief. What is it, boy?
The alchemitor created the apple, or the tree that sprouted it rather, right on time to save you from destruction. You're not sure if you can say the same for your neighborhood, though. You wonder what happened to your dad. But we already looked at that.
It's the same one. Yeah, I think that was like one of the bits of dialogue or text or whatever that made me think that like everything was destroyed except for John's house, and it was just somehow spared.
Yeah.
What's that?
It looks different now. After you bit that apple, your whole house seemed to be transported somewhere. Then the apple disappeared, and the Colonel Sprite underwent a transformation. Aside from the change in appearance, the transformation doesn't seem to have any relevant ramifications. You still can't understand a word this idiot said.
Well, now it's confirmed that they are in a different location.
Yes.
Yep, you there, boy.
What? I feel like there's like some way to, I don't know, there's some kind of cheat that you can do here to find like Trickster John or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's outside that they show you the secret, but we can figure that out later.
I don't think it needs to be part of the stream.
That man with the humorous spectacles. Admire him.
Oh, Michael Sarah, your warm smile is a shining beacon in these dark times.
Truly.
I detest this. Disregard it.
The Harlequin painting, you have the sentiment in common with John, then, I suppose. A couple of minutes ago in the chat, Randy mentioned that he read ahead a little but got hung up in the "What Now, Boy" section, which seemed a bit confusing. I imagine he probably means this walkthrough, where it's not clear who the voice of the commands is.
No, 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 no. Keep moving.
Believe me, you have no intention of turning your head to observe this dreadful thing.
Why does the small man stand here?
This harlequin is always ready to serve you with illumination, whether you're reading a book or just enjoying a nice pipe.
Which is something John obviously does. What is the meaning of this rubbish?
Okay, even you have to admit, this one's pretty funny.
A small dessert tray? Useless.
In retrospect, it was pretty funny when your dad pied you like that. Gotcha again by the old man. Oh, didn't mean
Boy,
that.
listen to me, boy.
His name is John, you nincompoop. That's right, if you keep clicking on him, it says more stuff.
Boy, who is John? Do as I say.
What would you like, boy who is John, to do?
Obey my commands, John boy.
And those commands would be?
I would like the boy to interact with his environment in a constructive manner.
Maybe you should be a little more specific.
Have the boy assess his current situation.
I'm afraid I can't have the boy do that. Tell him to do it yourself.
Very well.
Okay.
Arrow.
That instruction does not do anything at the moment.
Arrow.
Sigh. Could you please turn the controls over to a more competent user? Increasingly sophomoric. Also, you almost spelled salad in there.
You there, boy.
Does it just go
It just goes back.
Yeah. I want to look at the
Use this to reseal that opening there.
If only putting the lid back on the Cruxtruder would undo all it's done. Alas, Pandora's tube has been opened.
The ghost clown. Do something with it.
The ghost clown is called the Kernel Sprite, or rather, just the sprite now, I suppose. You can't do something with it at the moment. The only thing you can theoretically do with it is tier 2 prototype it, assuming that's still possible.
Randy in the chat
Here.
says,
Oh, yes.
I also did not activate the Flash version. The static links version is a lot harder to get the idea of what's going on. I can imagine.
Yeah, I've got the print version of
Oh, geez, yeah.
of Homestuck. It's very strange. It has like commentary by Andrew Hussey on it, which is kind of fun, but yeah. Anyhow.
I've
It
seen
also
it like
spoils the entire thing if you read the commentary.
Definitely.
So it's not like the best way to read it.
for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Tier prototype the sprite, or the thing you said. Do it.
You are not the one who is supposed to prototype it. The Spurb server user is supposed to do that.
What's that?
Oh yeah, we already read that.
Move this absurd edifice and exit your house, boy.
This thing weighs a ton. You'd honestly be surprised if the game cursor could lift it, or not, or at least not without a significant expense of grist. Of all the places for Rose to drop the infernal thing, more than ever you feel, what's the word you're looking for? Of course, house trapped.
That's the one. Stow lump of soot for future use, boy.
That stuff is really dirty and you don't want it. Besides, you have it on good authority that a significant portion of it is comprised of asbestos.
Topple this urn immediately.
That would be disrespectful to your Nana. You just won't do it, or not intentionally at least. You consider that it is fortunate she is no longer around to witness this sorrow. On the other hand, you would probably benefit from her elderly wisdom now. Can you click on her? No, you can't click on Nana. Come on, John.
Ugh, no.
So coy, so mysterious.
Destroy these diminutive soldiers of merriment.
It hardly seems worth it to go to the bother. You doubt you could get much for them at a garage sale, even. Maybe a grubby palm with pennies and a kick in the nuts for the whole lot of them. Okay. Where should I go? This is the kitchen.
Take a door. Right? This way, through the doors like you see in a cowboy saloon. Oh dear.
Ooh.
Open this door now. Go back into the luncheon parlor. Plunder chest.
Would you like to play a game?
That's all we get. Examine this artwork. It's beautiful.
Your dad was so proud when you drew this. He hung it up immediately, and it stayed there ever since. It was 1 week ago.
Oh my god.
Peek in bowl of goo.
Wherever your dad went, he seems to have left in a hurry. For all his absurdities you have to put up with, you sure wish he were here right now.
Sample powdered uncooked dessert.
Back, ye miserable wench. Stay thy choking airborne particulates of temptation.
This book is too big for a young, stupid boy.
Colonel Sassacres is your favorite book. Almost as favorite as Wise Guy. They are both your favoritist of all time. All right, let's...
This is a telephone, boy. Use it.
The phone doesn't work.
Open this door now. Back here. This is no time for laundry.
You're right. Thank you for being sensible about it.
Open these and rifle through them for goods.
You don't give a shit about what's in there. Probably nothing you'd be inclined to use now anyway.
Exit, boy. Oh. Admire this wall-mounted gadget.
Through some mysterious force, your house still seems to be powered, even though the wires are severed. Quite bizarre.
Ponder lawn amusement.
Your childhood nemesis, the spring-mounted pogo ride, sadly was not swallowed by the void. It will have to wait another day for its comeuppance.
Boy, engage this mangled trapeze display.
Looks like your swing set is toast. You relive fond memories in a moment of sorrow. Yeah, I think it's maybe somewhere around here that you find Trickster, if you find the Trickster stuff. Ooh.
Oh, claim the dangling tree bauble.
The trick handcuffs are still there, thank God. And no, you are not about to try to claim them just now. I don't know if there's anything over here.
Doesn't look like it.
All right, rest of the house.
There's stuff upstairs, right?
Yeah,
think so,
we
yeah.
still haven't done John's room
Right.
or his dad's room, but I assume you can't go in there.
This is what. Okay.
What is down here? Proceed, boy. I am not fond of this smug fellow.
The man, the myth, the legend. What do you have up your sleeve there, Anderson? Look at that poker face. He's not telling a soul.
Go in there now. Oh, the bathroom. Your plumbing appears faulty.
Man, Rose did such a piss-poor job of fixing the bathroom. It would almost certainly be a mistake to try to use the toilet. You guess you could just go pee over the edge of the cliff.
It's the same. Leave at once.
Leave at once. Which side was that? Was that this one?
That was the left side, yeah. Open this.
Your dad's room is still locked.
No, go back.
All right, and that's his room, right?
Boy, go in here.
Okay, John's room.
Aha.
Which we've already seen a lot of, but...
Yep. Inspect this ghastly man and his boy.
Fred Savage has a punchable face, your ass. More like a talented young actor's face who you would want to hang out with if you got the chance, and also if you were not a fully grown man now. Anyway, the thought of monsters looking in your house scares the shit out of you, which is why this movie is so awesome. But the fact that those monsters could also be your best friend is what makes it doubly awesome.
Is that John Cusack?
Oops.
This door.
Yeah, you guess so, but damn, that door be covering up your man cage something serious. That ain't cool.
This door. Explain this.
Sorry?
I can't believe he knows who John Cusack is.
So
Yeah.
funny. Rose sure did a number on your house, but you guess she did manage to save your life. You guess.
What is that? Armed foes of the deceased?
Most people say the second one was not as great as the first, but you feel just the opposite. It was really cool and sort of gross how they hosed each other down with slime that made people angry. TG refers to the film as Nasty Man Bro Bukkake Theater, whatever the hell that means.
Oh,
Oh, lovely.
marvel at this adventure in outer space.
This movie is. Okay, this movie is really bad. Not even you can defend it. You've been meaning to take this poster down, actually.
Boy, look through this window.
Hmm. At least your tire swing remains unmolested. A tree without a tire swing is like a house without a surrounding neighborhood, you guess.
This huge sewing machine. Of what use is it?
The punch card seems to contain the instructions for carving a totem of a certain shape. You guess maybe other punch cards will produce different shapes? It bears further exploration. I don't know if there's anything else clickable here. No, we already got the huge sewing machine.
Another book? This funny man text, you should ignore it.
Just looking at the cover cracks you up. What a great book. Harry Anderson is your hero, and Mike Cavaney's glowing treatment of the man does him every bit of justice. You'll have to give this another read soon. Glass shards.
Acquire this small Persian rug. That's
It's a towel, dumbass. It'll probably come in handy for cleaning up this weird mess in your room. Not that it's a huge priority, though.
observe this box.
The bunny is not in the box. I said the bunny is not in the box. Why couldn't the bunny be in the box? Oops, I already did that. Investigate.
Investigate this device.
Okay.
John, are you there?
It seems you are still connected to the internet. Rose is trying to get in touch with you. You will reply in a moment once you have fully assessed your situation. I think I've seen everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's probably everything.
Appears to be.
Everything
Yeah,
important.
when they were starting out, they were not very good at communicating that you were done watching the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get much better at it later.
So Hex, end it for us.
Boy, quit all this scurrying around.
For the last time, this boy's name is John.
Fine, John. Return to your quarters.
You go back up to your bedroom, tiptoeing around this weird petroleum-based sludge.
Now, John, respond to your friend unit.
Okay, how do we want to split this up?
I guess I could do Rose. I've already been doing Rose.
Sure, I'll be John.
Yeah.
John, are you there?
Hey, yeah, I'm here. And not dead, I think.
I know. I've been watching you scramble through the house like a lunatic. You should have answered me sooner.
Oh, man, sorry. I was looking around for my dad, and I can't find him anywhere. Have you seen him?
No, I'm sure he'll turn up. We have more important things to address right now.
Yeah, like, where am I?
I don't know that either, but I've determined your neighborhood was destroyed by the meteor. Wherever you were transported, it saved you from the impact. I've been reading reports in the news. Over the last few days, there have been many smaller meteor collisions with people's homes around the world, and they seem to be getting bigger. Yours was the biggest they've identified so far.
Ah, okay. So then, I guess, if this is all the game's doing, then the point is for us to save the world?
Perhaps.
Then we'd better get moving and figure this game out.
Yes, but wait. We should retrieve your PDA yet again. It will help to keep tabs on each other while you investigate. I think I can get you closer to it if I can replenish our grist supplies somewhat. There may be a way to recycle some that we already used.
Okay.
I'll meet you out on the balcony.
Wait, Rose, one thing.
What?
You never even wished me a happy birthday. Hello?
I was working on something to send you, but I was running late with it. I didn't want you to think I believed meager well wishes alone would suffice for the occasion. That said, happy birthday, John.
Oh, geez, that is silly. Anyway, thanks. I'm still...
Yeah.
I'm still sharing my screen with you guys. Do you want me to stop?
You can stop. I've been
Yeah,
reading
I
off
think
the
if
thing.
we're done with, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
First, take the fabric item on the floor there.
The towel? Why? Oh, well, you're the boss. You capture log the towel. What now?
Do as the purple text says. To the balcony.
John makes his way to the balcony per your awkwardly worded request.
Wait, take that. The blue wobbly thing.
You whimsically decide to capture log the totem, which was used to create the apple tree earlier.
John, recycle the grist as was dictated by your cohort.
John cannot do anything with the grist as of this moment. That is up to the Smurb player.
I see. Arrow? Question mark?
Yes, that will suffice. Rose deletes the perfectly generic objects. 6 units of build grist are restored to your grist cache.
Arrow?
Rose expends the grist to drag a new plank from the balcony in the direction of the PDA.
John, run across precarious platform swiftly.
John isn't sure about that. It's a long way down.
Boy, I said make haste on the narrow catwalk.
John is very nervous about the idea, and the strident tone of your commands is starting to make him a little upset.
Fine. Proceed as your level of comfort dictates.
You cautiously walk within range of the PDA. Rose retrieves it.
Now take it.
You grab the PDA, launching one of the Harlequin figures into the night. You can kiss that one goodbye.
Arrow, arrow.
In the chat, Rachel says, RIP, perfectly generic objects.
RIP. Serious business.
Is this
Should I
different
read
from what we
serious
had
business?
before?
Think so.
Yes, it is. I guess I'll read from the bottom. Let me zoom in.
Want to like alternate or?
Oh, sure. I guess
How many people are
there's
there? Like
3 characters? No,
There's
there's
4.
4.
I'll be
I can-
Fedora Freak.
I can be well-pressed attire then.
4? I will be the other 2 since I guess there's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
Or 1 each, yeah.
Submitting inquiry of concern over cataclysmic event. Pipe fan 413 reply.
At Pipefan413, status of health/wardrobe.
Neighboring house struck by flaming projectile. In light of fire hazard, evacuating house of all expensive garments.
GL Fedora Freak, salvage as many hats as is practical.
Fedora Freak, you are in our thoughts, along with Pipe Fan 413 and his enviable collection of pipes.
TY all. Report. Most hats removed from danger. Ties next. The following matter
Very
is
important.
submitted a frank and forthright matter for Pipe Fan 413's judicious appraisal.
He named his account after his son's birthday.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, you are right about
I
that.
hadn't noticed that. Yeah. I was just thinking of the 413 as a significant number and not as John's birthday. That's sweet. Just one arrow command will suffice. Thanks. It looks like you're not the only one trying to locate your father after the disaster.
These boring men are uninteresting.
I love that looping gif.
Boop.
Bang, bang. Oh, yes, that's me. John, are you okay? You seem a bit tentative.
I'm fine, I guess. Since I got here, I feel compelled to do all these weird things I don't really want to do by some kind of voice that I can't really even hear. I don't know. It is hard to explain.
Perhaps the early symptoms of an anxiety order, like post-traumatic stress?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Well, if you can pull yourself together, there are a few more things we should try, like prototyping the kernel sprite again, if possible. We should hurry. My laptop's battery won't last forever.
Okay, I will go back inside.
No, don't do that. Hop off the sledge onto that car.
What? No, that sounds incredibly dangerous.
Arrow, 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 arrow.
Now you're just being a pest. Which turnip truck did you just tumble out of anyway? Who are you? Years in the future, but not many. An unsealed tunnel welcomes hot desert air into its stagnant depths. So yeah, here we get another one of those like side pages where you see the sand has pooled below.
Art on these pages are very good.
The what?
The art on these pages are very good.
Yeah, it's very different from what you've had so far with John. And this is like one of the first like introductions of real like stylistic variation into it, but yeah. And then at the bottom of the page,
boy, you there, boy.
I like that this keyboard has both a return key and a giant arrow key.
Yes,
it's important.
Yeah, it's also got it's generally like a Mac keyboard layout, which is kind of funny to me. But yeah,
but the Apple button is a pumpkin instead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it is.
Yeah, Randy mentioned having been confused by what was going on in that entire section. So we have our character in years in the future who is typing those commands which are somehow influencing John. That's how it all fits together. So, all right, next page. We're back on game FAQs. You want to go for it, Evan?
So
long. Wow, this is so long. Okay.
Oh, do you want to trade off then?
No, I think I can do it.
The whole thing? Okay.
We'll see. Okay. The game FAQs page is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so an examination of the basics. Upon connecting with the client user, you, the server user, will be met with a control panel allowing you to manipulate your co-player's environment. You will find that you are allowed to deploy 4 items at no expense. 3 of these are rather large machines, and one of these, one is a punch card. It's quite possible that you have already deployed some of these items before reading this. If this is the case, you have activated the machine called the Cruxtruder such that it displays a countdown. You must proceed to section A100 of this walkthrough immediately. The life of your client user depends on it, and if your co-player has activated this device in your environment too, then yours does well. But if not, please refrain from doing anything with the Cruxtruder aside from merely deploying it. This will buy us some time to think things through properly and to go over the basics of the game before you find your soft, easily punctured head in the jaws of the lion. As mentioned, there are 4 items to consider, each playing a role in a process which appears to have a singular purpose, to manufacture objects out of thin air. The designers of this game, judging by the language used, regard this process as a sort of alchemy. This may allude to complexities in the production process yet to present themselves. But for now, the variety of objects you are able to create remains quite limited. Excuse me. The items in question are the Cruxtruder, again, tread lightly with this one, the Totem Lathe, the Alchemimeter, and the pre-punched card. I will describe how these devices work in conjunction with each other, and I will use the analogy of having a key made at a hardware store to help you understand. First, deploy all of these objects in convenient proximity to each other. Be sure not to block doors or pathways with them. You can always revise the dimensions of your rooms to make space for them, but I advise against this or even experimenting with the function. Doing so comes at the expense of build grist, a commodity which appears to be at a premium at the onset, and one you'd be best advised to save for later. Section 1, the Cruxtruder. Removing the lid signals the moment your life becomes a great whirling batshit pandemonium. Jeez. Your life becomes a great whirling batshit pandemonium, somewhat resembling the chaos of an especially ethnic wedding. I don't really like that joke.
Nor I.
Somewhere, a soused uncle deliberately shatters china on the floor. Muddy livestock is decorated and then lost track of. The question, whose meal is this, at times can be heard over the din. This is now your reality. But aside from that, it marks the beginning of the process I am about to describe. The countdown begins, yes. Also, an entity called the kernel sprite is released. But neither of those things are all that relevant to this process, to my knowledge. More on these things later. What is relevant is the unlidded Cruxtruder's ability to dispense Cruxite dowels. It will dispense at least one, though I suspect it is capable of producing more given parameters I am not yet familiar with. In my key-making analogy, these dowels represent the uncarved pieces of metal which the hardware store employee retrieves from a drawer or a rack and sets about carving into a key. The two following items are needed to do the carving. Section 2, the pre-punched card. It is a simple Siladex card containing an item. This is evidence to suggest that the specific item it contains is variable from session to session. The card I deployed contained a blue apple. Yours may be different. It shouldn't matter, hopefully. Additionally, the card, as you may guess, is punched, like one used with antique computing systems. The pattern of holes comprises data, which I believe corresponds to the instructions for creating the item the card contains. That it is pre-punched suggests there is a way to punch an unpunched card, possibly imprinting it with the data for the item it contains, though no mechanism for this has presented itself yet. But the data on the card cannot be used to create the item directly. There is a middleman. The middleman is the totem lathe. The totem lathe, section 3. This is essentially the key carving machine. It will carve into your Cruxite dowel a pattern of grooves and contours, the sort of which makes a key unique. The instructions for this pattern are supplied by the punch card, which is inserted into the lathe pre-activation to configure its chisels. Once the dowel is carved, you have a totem serving as your key, which can then be used to unlock the card item through the alchemitter. But at this point, I will diverge from my key-making analogy and switch to a barcode analogy, which is not a terribly strenuous leap to make, since the concepts of a key and a barcode are essentially the same, one being a unique pattern of grooves, the other of varying black lines. Section 3. The alchemitter. If you place a Cruxite dowel, carved or uncarved, on the alchemitter's small pedestal, its robotic arm will scan the contours with a laser, hence the barcode analogy. This is the machine's way of reading the data originally imprinted from the card and transforming that data into a physical object. Though typically, this is not done without expense, I believe. An uncarved dowel results in the creation of a perfectly generic object, which is a seemingly useless green cube. It costs 2 units of build grist to make, and I do not advise you waste your resources on it. There appears to be many other varieties of grist, ostensibly used in combinations to create different sorts of items, which possibly offers some insight into the game's use of the term alchemy. But quite conveniently, there is an exception to this. Creating the item on the pre-punched card costs nothing. This is good because creating this item turns out to be essential. Now that you know this, you can, in your own time, begin the process. Once you initiate it, naturally there is no going back, so to be prepared. But you probably shouldn't drag your feet too long. As I mentioned earlier, this is your only means of escape. When you're ready, be prepared to follow the steps in the next section swiftly. A100. So your Cruxtruder is ticking. Do this to live.
I'm applauding because that was a lot.
It helps that I completely understand what she's saying. So,
Yeah. For
like,
sure.
if I didn't understand what she was saying, I would probably lose my place and be confused a lot.
Yeah, one of the things I think Homestuck does fairly well, especially in the first few acts, is that like it will periodically stop to recap things that have already been established. Like what's being laid down here isn't really new information. It's just like clarification and specification of stuff that was kind of implied in mostly in Act 1. And yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good exposition or recapping tool. This FAQ. It's also a good character building tool because it tells you a lot about Rose.
All right, turning the page, and now we're back with Rose. Speaking of which, in the distance, meteorites fall with greater frequency. The fire in the forest burns so hot, not even the rain is putting it out. Do you want someone else to read the commands now that the commands are not
Sure.
not normal commands? Or
I guess I can do it. Rose, check status of battery.
do you want to read the narration, Hex?
Sure. Your laptop battery is all right for now, but it won't be for long. If the power in the house doesn't come back on, you can think of one last resort, the small backup generator stored behind the mausoleum.
Rose, prototype sprite with Betty Crocker box.
Should I be Rose now?
No.
I'm kind of narrating.
I'll go back to being John, and Evan can be Rose, if that's all right.
Okay. Yep.
What? Oh man, you're gonna use that? That sucks. What a stupid idea.
We have to hurry along. I'm running low on battery power.
But the cake mix, ugh, that's so dumb.
I doubt it matters. We might as well just use any old crap lying around.
Fine, I guess.
The sprite is playing hard to get. You guess that's what you get for originally prototyping it with something that engenders mischief and pranksterism.
I guess you're.
I'll be these commands, the all caps commands now.
Okay.
Do the potted vegetable instead. It looks delicious.
Pipe down, you. This is Rose's decision, not yours.
This is me. This is a little.
We've gotten confusing, haven't we?
Yes. Rose, prototype sprite with Sassacre text, and that appears to be an actual command that someone submitted.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Oh yes, sweet. Now we're talking.
See if you can distract it. I'll try to sneak up on it.
John, flail about in a distracting manner.
The sprite finds the distracting manner in which you flail about to be rather distracting.
Turn the page.
The pesky sprite eludes you again. Not even the great Colonel himself can outfox it. In narrowly missing your attempt to create the Colonel sprite, you drop the massive tome. The entire house rattles under the astonishing girth of the book.
Oh, well, that's a joke that I never caught.
Oh, Colonel Sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you have to read it out loud because it's spelled differently. That's good. All right, page turn.
In the other room, Nana's ashes dump onto the sprite, which is caught unawares by the dowsing.
Inspect hag ash incident.
You find the sacred urn toppled again. This time, you're quite sure it wasn't your fault. The sprite is nowhere to be found.
Oh, this is me. Yes. Rose, remove Cruxtruder from doorway.
Man, where'd it go?
I can't find it anywhere in the house. No time to worry about it. The next thing we can do is get your server copy of the game from the car. You need to connect to my client so I can repeat your steps and presumably join you wherever you are. We should do this quickly before my house burns down.
What, there's a fire?
There will be soon.
Oh, jeez. So move this thing already.
It looks like it requires a lot of grist to move. I don't have enough to relocate the door either.
How much do you have?
0.
Oh. I thought about jumping into the car from the ledge earlier, but that sounds really dangerous.
I have a better idea. Meet me upstairs.
Do again as purple words say.
You were about to head upstairs, but you thought you heard something behind you. It was faint, but you could swear it was a small, light-hearted chuckle, along the lines of a spirited hoo-hoo-hoo.
Page turn. Ignore this woman's antics.
It looks like a blue Harlequin grandma.
You're not sure you even saw a woman, let alone any of her hypothetical antics. But whatever it was you might have caught a glimpse of, it sure gave you the willies. You head upstairs on your way to the balcony. Your PDA is acting up again.
Indulge the device, but be curt with it. Oh, Who wants to be TG?
I guess I can be TG?
Go for it.
Hey bro, check it out. I'm working on some new rhymes.
Dude, I don't have time for your nerdy raps.
Come on, this is hells of ill. Just listen.
It sounds like you don't even believe me that I was about to get blown up, but I really was, but now I'm in some weird dimension that Sburb sent me to or something. And now, on top of that, I think I'm being haunted by my dead grandma.
Huh, for real?
Yeah, it's true, but I'll talk to you later about it.
I think I could drop some sick rhymes about all this.
Man, see, I just don't think all the rapping stuff is really as cool as you think it is.
No, this'll be dope. Check it.
No, I have to go. Bye.
Wait. Oh my god, I forgot what I was signing up for.
Are you still okay with it?
I will give it a shot. Okay. Armageddon's getting waged on us, but I'm a-getting armed and dangerous. Sending men in space for saving us. See which play is more courageous. Ben or Bruce, dudes reach a truce. Put their blow shoots to use and upsuck it. Affleck's, oh my god, what? Affleck's sacrifice, would have to suffice. Ah, fuck it. Bro be a stained glass saint, up on a cross getting hella Christ plagiarist. Bruce is like, off of that crucifix, enough of this fucking savior fuss. Restrained his ass per McLean Redux while Buscemi remained derangerous. When a plan gone astray pays off a wasted craterus, ashtray catering to laters of Matt McConaughey's vague remainder dust. Wait, McConaughey wasn't even in any of those Meteor movies, was he? I'll have to make a rap about, I don't know, Morgan Freeman or something, being the president. It'll be called Obama Made It So That No One Gives a Shit About Black Presidents in Movies Anymore. See, you've got to fill me in on what's going on, so I have something to rap about besides all your dumb shit movies. Oh, jeez.
Another Obama reference. Neither of you read the entirety of the epilogues, did you?
No, but I know something about Obama.
Yeah, Obama's a character in the epilogues. It's pretty great.
Okay.
Anyhow, enough strange poetry from the red text.
You head out to the balcony to find what Rosa has in mind. She's messaging you again.
The purple text is less irrational than the red text.
I'm lifting the car up to the balcony.
Whoa, okay.
Once it is up, retrieve the game, then I'll put it back down on the driveway.
But the door is locked.
Then break the window.
But it's my dad's car. Frowny face.
It's just a window, and this is sort of an emergency. Otherwise, I promise I'll handle the car with velvet gloves.
All right.
I know what's coming. Rose, pick up car.
I love that.
She lifts up the car, and the connection is lost.
Yeah,
and drops it.
And it drops into the nothingness.
All right, page turn.
Now it's falling down.
Ridiculous folly. Inexcusable.
You're inclined to agree. But hey, accidents happen. You double check your PDA to make sure if Rose is really gone. Indeed, this seems to be the case. TG is still pestering you, of course, but another chum has now logged in as well.
What color are the words that this chum says?
Who wants to be green text?
Who's going to be GG?
You want to do it or should I do it?
I am fine with either way.
So am I, but
I'm assigning Evan to do it then.
Okay.
okay.
I'm back.
Oh, hi.
I went to investigate the explosion I heard.
Was it, by any chance, a meteor?
Yes. How did you know?
Oh, man, it's kind of a long story. Anyway, are you okay? Did it blow up your yard or start a fire or anything?
No, I'm fine. It landed a pretty good ways from my house, and I went to look at it, and it's pretty big. But Beck doesn't want me to go near it. So I came home. He seems to think it's dangerous.
Well, gosh, he's probably right.
Anyway, what have you been up to, John? Oh, did you get my package yet? Oh,
Yeah, I was trying to get it, but Rose dropped my car into a weird, spooky, bottomless pit, and the package was in the car, and I'm really sorry about that.
oh no.
Wow, okay, I guess I should start at the beginning. See, a meteor blew up my neighborhood.
That's terrible, John. I'm so sorry.
But I'm okay, and my house is too, sort of. That game I was telling you about, Sburb, which I was playing with Rose, sort of transported me somewhere at the last minute. But now I'm trapped here, and it's weird and dark, and I can't find my dad, and I just lost the car and my copy of the game in the pit, and I think I have to save the world from the apocalypse.
Oh, well, it sounds really crazy and kind of scary, but it also sounds kind of exciting. I don't know, John. Maybe this is your destiny. If anyone can save the world, I think it is probably you.
Wow, you think so?
Yes.
Well, okay. But it's not even that simple. I was about to connect to Rose to help transport her and save her from the meteors and fire and stuff, but she lost battery power and I lost the game disc, so I think I have to get TG to use his copy to save her. But that jackass won't shut up and stop rapping and stuff.
Ha ha ha. He's so silly.
Yeah, anyway, I should talk to him about it, so BRB. The green text was attractive. Now, view the red text again.
Oh my god.
When the film crew zooms where the president's at, I'm like, if that dude's black, I'll eat my hat. Turns out he is, so we're all like, damn, director's got gumption. Like, we'll all flip our shit like he ain't shiny shoes or something. It's called free emancipation. If it's not pres-election, it's God ascension. In Bruce Almighty. Whoops, different Bruce from the one I just mentioned.
Ah.
Can't explain to me why this ain't condescension to think I'll shit a brick. Not even he can convey the intention with his quick spun wit. Rather, defray all this tension, sit on his lap while he whittles a splint, and some guy eyes what he does and patronizes. I guess negrosity's the mother of invention.
Stop rapping for a second, you horse's ass. I have something important to talk about.
What's up?
Rose is in trouble, and she needs help. I was going to connect to her with Spurb, but I lost my copy.
Okay.
Also, she lost battery power. If she can get back up and running, she'll need someone with the game to get her out of there before her house burns down. So I think you should use your copy of the game to help her.
My copy? That's gonna be tough.
Why?
I lost it. It's a stupid story, and I'd rather not talk about it. Should be embarrassing, yo.
I thought you said you had two.
Well, yeah. One is my brother's copy.
Okay, well, get his then.
All right, but he's not gonna be happy about that.
Whatever. Also, you might want to read Rose's walkthrough to get up to speed on this.
Oh, man.
What?
Nothing really. Look, all I'm saying is the girl tends to lay it on kind of thick, you know?
Rolls eyes. Page turn?
I am the narrator.
Yeah.
Your laptop is out of battery power. There's only one thing left to do. Time to make your way to that backup generator.
Rose, knit laptop cozy to shield your laptop from the rain.
That would be such a waste of time. Besides, you already knitted one a while ago. You retrieve it from your knitting bag and apply it to your laptop. You capture log the laptop plus cozy.
Rose, equip Grimwire to strife specibus.
That would be incredibly ill-advised. There are some dark forces you just don't want to mess around with. You understand this better than most. You put the book down.
Rose, recaptcha log your items.
You grab the knitting bag and the grimoire in that order. It's always a logistical puzzle with your tree modus. The tree auto-balances, leaving the knitting bag accessible in the root card.
Rose, allocate knitting needles to strife specibus.
You feel a lot more comfortable with this as a weapon. You're so handy with these needles, you feel like you could probably use them to fillet a swordfish.
Next.
You lose the root card in the process, severing the tree. Hey, careful with all that stuff.
Rose, knit plush cuddle Cthulhu to soothe nerves.
That would also be a preposterous waste of time. Besides, you're quite sure you've never heard of this creature called Cthulhu before. There are, however, many other specimens of the zoologically dubious you're familiar with, such as...
Rose, consult the grimoire.
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, foul patrician of misery. To hear his mammoth belly gurgle is to know the epoch of joy has come to an abrupt end.
Are some of these Problem Sleuth references?
Yes, Cthulhu is in Problem Sleuth.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one.
Oh boy. Rub Yigglith, shame beast king of the grotesquerie, ride lord of the moist beyondhood. Hearing his melodious chirps and tongue clicks causes one's bones to explode.
That sounds unpleasant.
Mm.
Yeah. And of course, there's Oglogoth, the deep one. Whenever he grinds his teeth, all of the children of a random galaxy somewhere will frown continuously for 9,000-year span. He is the first and smallest of the smaller gods, appointed in servitude of a vile, unfathomable pantheon of middling gods, which caters to the whims of the noble circle of horror terrors, an omniscient, omnipotent order of the elite few, forever cloaked in the darkness of the furthest ring.
Huh. Next.
And then there's this strange page containing some rather mysterious notes on summoning procedures. You've never been quite sure what these diagrams are getting at.
It's definitely a Problem Sleuth reference because windows in Problem Sleuth are literal portals.
Yeah.
Rose.
I mean, they bring that into Homestuck as well.
Yeah.
Much later on.
They did.
Rose, take items and proceed downstairs.
You recaptchalogue everything the way you want it to appear in the tree and head downstairs. You figure that's enough dilly-dallying. Time to get a move on.
Next.
It's a sound page.
Sound. You wonder if this rain will ever let up. It's driven since the month began, perhaps long enough to forget its purpose. It no longer even knows to assuage fire. Somewhere, a zealous god threads these strings between the clouds and the earth, preparing for a symphony it fears impossible to play. And so, it threads on, delaying the rays of the conductor's baton. How you hate this season. April is the cruelest month, breeding the lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. American sports legend Charles Barkley.
It's actually a quote from T.S. Eliot, who wrote Cats. Or at least wrote
Nice.
the book of poems on which Cats is based. Anyhow.
Yep.
I believe Hussey had no idea that Charles Barkley was a meme for this, which is
It's funny.
Rose, confront mother in hall.
Surely your mother is lurking nearby. You should be prepared for an unpleasant confront.
Oh, psych!
What?
I'm going to take over narration at this point, if that's all right. This is
Sure.
my stream. There's this really cool dude, okay? He's standing around being all chill, like cool dudes are known to do sometimes. A cool dude like this probably has a real cool name, but he probably wouldn't just tell you what it was if you asked. He'd be way too busy for that, busy being totally sweet. But you could always try to guess his name, and if you were right, he might nod ever so slightly. That's a cool dude's way of letting you know there just might be hope for you yet.
Enter name.
Insufferable. This guy does not have time for this sort of bullshit.
Try again.
Dave Strider.
Oh, wow. Examine room.
I like the glint in his sunglasses.
Yeah.
Your name is Dave. It is an unseasonably warm April day. Your bedroom window is open to let some air in, and your fan is cranked. Arguably even more cranked would be your fly beats, which brings us to your variety of interests. A cool dude like you is sure to have plenty. You have a penchant for spinning out unbelievably ill jams with your turntables and mixing gear. You like to rave about bands no one's ever heard of but you. You collect weird dead things preserved in various ways. You are an amateur photographer and operate your own makeshift darkroom. You maintain a number of ironically humorous blogs, websites, and social networking profiles. And if the inspiration strikes, you won't hesitate to drop some fat rhymes on a mofo and represent. What will you do?
Dave, quickly retrieve arms from cinder blocks.
Nah.
Dave, get the damn beta and save your friend's life.
This notion strikes you as nonsensical. You can't imagine how a video game could save someone's life, and in any case, you're quite sure no one you know is in any danger. Anyway, these are your copies of the beta you received in the mail recently. You've labeled them with your name in bold red print to distinguish them from your bro's copies, who labeled his in kind. Neither of you really gives a shit about this game or has any intention of playing it, but you'll be damned if you'll let that get in the way of your campaign of one-upsmanship.
Dave, bleat like a goat and piss on your turntable.
You would never consider allowing any fluid, even remotely resembling urine, to touch your beloved turntables. That would risk breaking them, and a world without the gift of your godly science just doesn't sound like a place you'd want any part of. While you're at it, you might as well wipe out human civilization with a meteor, or something ridiculous like that, which will probably never happen. That sort of thing only happens in stupid idiot movies for stupid idiots.
Next.
You will, however, contemplate bleeding like a goat for ironically humorous purposes at a later date.
Dave, examine closet.
This is your closet. This is where you keep a lot of your crap, like that box and that bottle of... What is that? Is that...
Dave, check the blue box.
This is the package that your friend John Egbert sent you for your 13th birthday a little while ago. It now contains nothing except a note and a certificate of authenticity, vouching for the genuine Hollywood memorabilia which the box originally contained, and which you are now wearing to be ironic, but also to be incredibly cool, in a way somehow intangibly related to the ironic nature of the accessory. You find it sort of exasperating to explain these subtleties to people. The box also included a signed photo of Ben Stiller, which now proudly hangs above your closet, proudly and ironically.
Dave, take box.
You captcha log the box through your hash map fetch modus. Your modus's current hash function resolves the index by valuing each consonant at 2 and each vowel at 1. The total is divided by your number of cards, and the remainder is the index. Box equals 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 5. 5 remainder 10 is 5. The box is captcha logged in card 5.
Data structures.
I love this. Yeah, this is it gets increasingly ridiculous, and yeah. Anyhow,
Dave, examine jar of unknown yellow substance in the closet.
oh hell yes, it is an unopened container of apple juice. You thought you were all out. It is like fucking Christmas up in here. This is so great. You got to tell John about this immediately. He'll be so excited.
Dave, take juice.
You captcha log the juice into card 7. 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. Remainder 10 equals 7.
Dave, access Pester Chom and Pester John.
In addition to letting your buddy know about this outstanding juice windfall, you figure you'll wish him a happy birthday while you're at it. In your own cool, sort of roundabout way, of course. Good thing you looked at that box he sent you, or you might have forgotten. You also might as well ask him about that beta. The kid's been harping about it for weeks. It would be cool if it came on his birthday. He'd be one happy camper.
Oh, next.
I like his ill beats folder and complete bullshit. And of course the Hephaestus browser. Okay. The
So
Pestilab.
we've already read this.
We have already read
Yes.
this. You want to read it again in context?
Yes.
Sure.
Hex, you can keep being Dave, and I'll be
Yep.
John again.
All right. Turntech Godhead, TG, began pestering ectobiologist EB at 1813. Hey, so what sort of insane loot did you rake in today?
I got a Little Monsters poster. It's so awesome. I'm going to watch it again today. The apple juice scene was so funny.
Oh hell, that is such a coincidence. I just found an unopened container of apple juice in my closet. It is like fucking Christmas up in here.
Okay, that's fine. But I just have one question and then a word of caution. Have you ever seen a movie called Little Monsters starring Howie Mandel and Fred Savage?
But the seal on the bottle is unbroken. Are you suggesting someone put piss in my apple juice at 3?
All I'm saying is, don't you think Monster Howie Mandel has the power to do something as simple as reseal a bottle? Try using your brain, numbnuts.
Why did the fat kid or whoever drank it know what piss tasted like? I mean, his reaction was nigh instantaneous.
It was the 15th day in a row Howie Mandel peed in his juice.
Okay, I can accept that. Monster B-list celebrity douchebags are cunning and persistent pranksters. Also, Fred Savage has a really punchable face. But who cares about this? Let's stop talking about it. Get the beta yet?
No, did you?
Man, I got 2 copies already. But I don't care. I'm not going to play it or anything. The game sounds boring. Did you see how it got slammed in Game Bro?
Game Bro is a joke, and we both know it.
Yeah. Why don't you go check your mail? Maybe it's there now.
All right. So for those who don't quite remember the previous stream from Act 1, I think this was the first pester log we saw, maybe? Which kind of places in time that we're catching up with Dave during the events of Act 1. So anyhow.
Dave, go online and view sites indicative of your interests. Hello. Someone leaves in the chat.
It's Cess. It's my friend Cess.
Hello, Cess. You open the Hephaestus web browser and direct it to your ironically maintained blog, where you post monthly satirical reviews of Game Bro magazine. Your latest post is a review of the March issue. Where does that go, that link?
Takes you to an image.
Oh, yeah. Game Bro, Frito-Lay, Grand Snack, fuck yeah.
Yeah. This is much better than the other issue that we looked at. Oh my god.
You've been meaning to write a review for the latest issue too, but you've sort of been dodging it. Something about the game they're reviewing just doesn't strike you as ripe for satirical purposes. I feel like this blog existed at one point, maybe still does.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna read what
Sweet
I
Bros
can.
Hella Blog. What's it?
Yeah, Sweet Bros Hella Blog. Review of Game Bros March issue. Oh man, when this heady volume of unabridged awesome hit my doorstep, it made a sort of thunderclap. Like the kind I'm sure Moses heard when God dropped stone tablets containing a review of a game involving the ambiguous marriage of insane stunts and extreme hunger management solutions for dudes on the go. It's like you see that little bag of chips there, you just grab it and go, bro, and keep thrashing shit up. I'm so hella pumped of this. There are some obvious questions, like just how outrageous are these snacks? Will popular beverages play a role? And how critical will they be in your quest to attain absolute sweetness? Will this game land the coveted but elusive 5 hats out of 5 hats? Yeah, so anyhow, turn the page.
I just looked up the URL and it is a blog, but the only post is no one's registered this account name.
That's funny.
Posted by Andrew Hussey, but it might be a fake Andrew Hussey.
Could be. In a new tab, you open another one of your sites, a webcomic ironically maintained through a satirical cipher vaguely similar to that of your blog. It's called Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. You have legions of devoted fans, most of whom are totally convinced of your creative persona's sincerity, which is just how you like it. Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff.
Should we just read the first one?
Yeah. What
there's
is
a
there?
lot of this.
There's a lot of Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff comics. The one they link is the first one, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
But I believe there were like 3 on the website when I think actually this website predates Homestuck.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
I think it came out of a joke on, what was it, the Something Awful forums or
yeah.
Penny Arcade forums or some forum?
Yeah. He I think he did it like in response to another person who did the mouths, like the weird Y mouths. And so he was like, oh my god, that's great, I'm gonna do that.
I can't wait to be a useless piece of shit all day and play these games. Fuck, I'm falling down all these stairs.
I warned you about stairs, bro. I told you, dog.
It keeps happening.
I told you, man. I told you about stairs.
I feel like there's a lot of Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff references in Homestuck, but so it would be fruitful, I guess, for like the Homestuck reader to read Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff to understand the source of those references, but I'm not going to do that right now. You can do that on your own time.
Yeah, the
Not that
next
this
one
isn't
is
your own
also
time.
slightly not safe for work.
Yeah, true,
Yeah.
true. All right.
Dave, check the latest page of the Midnight Crew.
You figure as long as you're chilling at your computer, you might as well see how that new MSPA story is going. You haven't looked at it in a while.
Midnight Crew.
Hex, you want to read this?
Now we're here. Sure. You are members of a sinister gang called the Midnight Crew. Your nefarious plots are serpentine in complexity, your schemes convoluted. You are planning a heist in your underground hideout. What will you do?
Use Occam's razor on plans and schemes.
Spade Slick uses Occam's razor to carve a circular hole into the heist plan, freeing it from the knife. You wonder what moron would jam the knife so hard into the table in the first place.
SS. Climb ladder and exit hideout. Implement nefarious plots.
His little face. You push against the manhole cover, but it seems some unbelievable jackass has parked your getaway van on top of it. A familiar feeling stirs. That feeling is overwhelming, soul-blackening rage. It's the sort of rage that'll make a man feel totally justified in sporting an unnecessarily elaborate assortment of fancy blades.
Dave, skip ahead a few hundred pages or so.
You don't remember?
You don't remember where you left off. Oh, I guess it's you now.
Yeah, I'll go back to it for now.
Yeah, go for it.
You don't remember where you last left off, so you jump way ahead. You always forget to save your place in the story. It looks like tempers have become short in this pressure cooker already. You speculate that the tipping point may have been an ill-advised motion for a game of 52 pickup.
Dave,
This is absolutely a reference to how you can save your place in Homestuck, but
oh yeah, there's
probably
also
forget to.
there's also a weird
Yeah.
white protrusion on this page.
Yeah, right
There
above
it
the
is.
heart, there's a strange thing, which I guess let's just remark on its presence and say nothing about it.
Okay. Dave, save your place, read it later.
Even though the adventure began recently, it's already over 3,000 pages long. You just don't have time for this bullshit. You'll catch up later. Besides, it looks like someone's pestering you. You're pretty sure you know who it is.
Dave, answer chum. In some
Yeah, go for it.
In some cultures, the persistent refusal of a lady's invitation to play a game with her would be a sign of wanton disrespect. Either that or flagrant homosexuality.
What? Oh, no. No, look, I'm busy, okay? I've got a lot of shit on my plate. I am sort of a big deal, okay?
I know. Sometimes I wonder how you are even allowed to pay for meals in restaurants. It must be hard to keep a low profile when you're always hearing odd voices whisper, "It's that guy who has a blog."
Seriously, dudes be worshipping me left and right? I can't hardly walk down the street without stepping over torsos of the prostrate.
Navigating the urban landscape, I'm sure, is difficult enough without an obstacle course of differential flesh and skyward asses. Perhaps adapting the art of parkour to your unique environment would help.
Yeah, I mean, damn. Like there's a scruffy little shit at my feet, an orphan or something, I don't know. Face flush on the pavement. I'm like, dude, you listening for a stampede of buffalo or something? He braves a look at me and then gives my shoe a little kiss and scurries the fuck off.
Heaven is the crown. Heavy is the crown.
Yeah. Not kicking Oliver Twist in the fucking face every day is my gift to the world, I guess.
Breathtaking magnanimity.
Among other things, I just give and fucking give.
Indeed, nary a jewel tumbles from your wish box of daily exploits, which I imagine does not sparkle.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You're just lobbying for me to play that dumb game.
Baseless accusation.
Look, I am telling you, Egbert is all about that game. He will play it with you and probably be tickled dumb about it.
I know this very well. I cannot hasten his mail's delivery, however.
Yeah. I'll hassle him some more about it. And look, how about this? If you ever find yourself in the position where your life depends on me playing that piece of shit game, then I'll play. Will that make you happy?
More than you know. It perfectly mollifies my grief over the demise of chivalry.
John, what are you doing? Stop doing nothing. Does someone else want to read?
Hex.
Hex, do you want to read?
Sure, I will go back to being the narration. Meanwhile, in the present, in a place where the present may be a concept of dubious merit, John is spacing out. But a vague and forceful thought jolts him to attention. Or maybe it is that bumping sound coming from the other side of the door. What is that?
Arrow question?
A thick, unpleasant fluid pools from beneath the door.
Troubling. Investigate this.
There's a trail of this fluid in the hall, leading to your room.
Dave, place. Oh, do you want to go?
You can. I don't actually know whose command this is supposed to be. I think that's me.
Yeah,
Dave, play some hauntingly sick beats.
I'll be the narrator for the Dave portion.
Okay.
And then when we switch back to John, it'll be Hex again. You've had enough of the computer for a while. You feel like you've been messing around on it all week. It's time to get your jam on. You pull up your you pull up to your trusty AKAI MPC 1000 sampler and prepare to get sick nasty. Yeah, there's like this.
This definitely requires flash. I don't know.
Yeah. Click on things.
I feel like there's limited value to like playing with this on a live stream.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it used to have like, I think there's like a hidden part. Like, I don't remember how you get to the hidden part, but there used to be a hidden part. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anyhow.
It's got
Dave,
controls.
Take sip of apple juice, despite what John said.
Those beets were so fresh they belong in the produce aisle, is what you're talking about. Soccer moms be thumping that shit for ripeness like melons, you know what I'm saying? After beets that fresh, it would be a crime not to reward yourself with a celebratory swig. 2 + 2 + 1 + 2, remainder 10 = 7.
That's the best way to get stuff out of a Sylladex.
So
yeah, with the verb.
Perfect. But
you can't do it. John's got you all twisted up inside now. All you can think about is Mandel's gross monster piss. Damn you, Egbert. You recapsulog the juice.
Dave, allocate sword to Strife Specibus.
Your Strife Specibus is already allocated with the blade kind Abstratus. There is no need to allocate it. You can wield your sweet ninja sword as a weapon once it is in your Strife deck, but you will have to capsulog it first before moving it there.
Dave, capsulog sword.
The ninja sword, 2 + 1 + 2 + 2 + 1, plus 2 + 2 + 1 + 2 + 2, equals 17, remainder 10 = 7, occupies the same card as the juice, 2 + 1 + 1 + 2 + 1 = 7, remainder 10 = 7, expelling the juice from your Sylladex. It splashes all over your turntables and your copies of the beta. Ugh.
Dave, get a towel or something.
You head out to get a towel from the bathroom across the hall. You glance at one of the many radical puppets in your bro's collection and nod in approval. Is there anything not awesome about your bro? No, you think not.
Yeah, puppets are so cool.
I love the I love the way the puppet thing just kind of gets casually dropped in there and sort of mounts over the course of the story. And I also noticed there is a strange smudge of black stuff on the poster. We've seen that a few times before, but let's remark on it and then say nothing more about it.
Next.
You enter the bathroom. There's a damp towel on the floor you can probably use for this crisis. You stop to pay a little respect to one of your bros boys up there. Hey, little man, how's it hanging?
Dave, capsulog damp towel.
You take the damp towel, 2 + 1 + 2 + 2, plus 2 + 1 + 2 + 1 + 2, equals 15, remainder 10 = 5. Expelling the box, 2 + 1 + 2 = 5, remainder 10 = 5.
Dave, search the bathroom for something slightly less damp.
Nah, you just decide to wring this towel out into the toilet to make it less damp. It is now just a towel. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 8. Remainder 10 equals 8.
Dave, take towel.
I don't know how I'm able to read that fast. I feel like I don't know. You take the towel and grab the box again while you're at it.
Dave, clean up the juice.
You clean 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals 8, up the juice with the towel, and hang the damp beta envelopes on your line to dry off. Page turn.
Yep.
In the breeze of the fan, the betas jostle near the open window. This arrangement is a little disconcerting. If they fell out, it sure would be a stupid way to lose them.
Dave, turn off the fan.
The crisis is easily averted. You can't imagine it will ever resurface later in any way, shape, or form. That beta is as good as yours forever.
Next.
You should probably go pester Egbert again. You wonder if he found the beta yet. You also might chat about your respective Syllodices and fetch modi, if the topic happens to come up. You wonder if he is anywhere near as smooth with his Sylladex as you are. Probably not. It's probably not even humanly possible.
Next.
Suddenly, a rambunctious crow flies in the open window and snatches the beta, possibly to make a nest with, or maybe just for the sake of being a brainless, feathery asshole. You yell at the bird.
Next.
Stop. 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 equals 7. You accidentally launch your ninja sword. Everything goes flying out the window, dead bird and all.
Oh.
It's the first death in Homestuck, isn't it? No one can ever know about this. I love the flashing tiny little exclamation point. It's so good.
Dave, look out window.
Yeah, you can kiss all that stuff goodbye. You feel sorry for the bird, but at least you never planned on using that beta ever. Anyway, now that bit of ugliness is behind you, you guess you can look forward to several more hours of messing around in your roam. Whoa, wait, what? We have an oh snap move to...
Oh snap.
Let me see a weird wizard guy.
Strange bearded wizard. Turn the page. You can read for Rose's narration as well, Hex.
Okay. You prepare to descend the stairs to your living room. You are standing eye to eye with a familiar foe, a 20-foot-tall granite statue of the mighty wizard Zazarpan the Learned. Your mother had him installed through a hole in the roof with a heavy-duty crane. Just look at that mystical gaze. To peer into those aloof, glassy eyes is to arrest the curiosity of any mortal. To behold the wisdom concealed in the furrows of that venerable face is to know the ceaseless joys of bewilderment itself. Any man so fortunate as to catch askance his merry twinkle or twitch of whisker shall surely have all his dreams fulfilled.
Next.
You find this grisly abomination utterly detestable.
Oh, it's still me. Rose, psychoanalyze mother's love of wizards.
There is nothing to psychoanalyze. Your mother clearly has no real affinity for these damnable things. She only collects them to spite you. If anything, she finds them even more repellent than you do. She's just a committed woman.
God, this is like my favorite part of Act 2. Rose, go downstairs to the kitchen back door.
You descend to the living room area of your home's expansive open layout. There is the sound of rushing water beneath the floor. It tends to strike guests as a strange presence in a living space, but it's become hardly audible to you through familiarity. There's the front door, but hopefully there's no need to make the long trek around the house in the rain. You might as well see if you can slip through the kitchen and out the back unnoticed.
Rose, view mother's solid copper vacuum statue.
Okay, but it's bronze, not copper. But it wasn't always. A while ago, you gave this as an ironic gift to your mom for Mother's Day. You even customized it with a drink holder to support one of her ubiquitous alcoholic beverages. She liked the gift so much, she had it bronzed and put on this pedestal. She even left it plugged in so it can still be turned on now and then, but never to do any cleaning. It never leaves this display. Sometimes at night when you are in your room, you can hear it wailing from downstairs. She must know you can hear it. She's completely deranged.
Rose grabbed the Eldritch Princess.
It's too big to captchalogue. Not that you would want to move it anyway. The pretty princess doll has been sitting there for months, ever since your mother got this abomination for your birthday as a totally passive-aggressive gesture. You decided to make it much less abominable by knitting Her Majesty a new head and new arms. Now it brings a mischievous smile to your face whenever you walk by. Your mother hasn't removed the doll yet, and probably never will. She would never be the one to blink first.
Rose, acquire umbrella for protection from elements.
U is greater than L, U is less than V. You're going to have a hell of a time accessing that card when you need it. You'll guess you'll just cross that bridge later.
Rose, peek inside kitchen.
The liquor bottles are out in full force. Mom is surely nearby.
Rose, investigate richly colored object in middle of screen.
That would be your refrigerator, whose surfaces have customarily served as the battlefield for a chilly siege of passive-aggressive one-upmanship. This was a drawing you did of your cat Jasper's when you were younger, along with a poem about him. Your mother bought this ostentatious $15,000 frame for it and had it welded to the door.
God. Next.
Too good.
Using the colorful magnet letters, you recently left a succinct message which may or may not have been directed toward anyone in particular. But you couldn't find the letter W, so you just stuck two V's together. Shrew.
It says shrew, yeah.
Or Shrev.
Shrev. Next.
Your mother then purchased a fresh pack of W's and left them there for your convenience. Appreciative of the thoughtful gesture, you left her a sincere thank you note, which you had legally notarized and then marked with a drop of blood.
Oh my God.
How does Rose do all of this?
So fucking good.
Next.
But part of it was touching the floor, so your mother was kind enough to lift the lower portion of the document with a velvet pillow.
Rose, attach a W to face as a fake mustache.
This is incredibly silly, and you're not sure how it fits into your campaign against your mother or getting your computer back online to escape your doom. But it's hard to resist getting a little silly sometimes, especially when you're absolutely positive no one is watching.
Rose, captcha log W.
W is greater than L, W is less than V. Oh, greater than V, I'm sorry.
Next.
But that unsightly void in the W pack won't do, nor will the gash in the plastic. You deposit 12 cents in its place, which is your approximation of the letter's value. You also make a vow to return later and neatly sew the plastic shut.
Rose, think of ways to one-up mother.
You now wonder how to address the pillow situation. It seems the woman has you at a clear disadvantage. Perhaps slipping a fresh doily under the pillow will do the trick, or maybe spilling a bit of Worcestershire sauce on it, and then having it dry cleaned and returned along with a laboriously ingratiating apology note? No, there's no time for anything like that. Or maybe, just thinking out loud here, you could use the entire pack of W's as M's. Oh yes, that would burn. But you've already done something with that W pack, and there's no need to go back and gild that lily. This is delicate business, and that pillow is screaming for rebuttal.
Rose, captcha log velvet pillow.
You decide to take the velvet pillow and lovingly embroider a poem in praise of motherhood on it. Hopefully, you can pull this off before she notices it's gone. VE is greater than L, VE is less than VI, VE is greater than U. But it causes your tree to be pretty badly unbalanced. It surely will auto-balance itself in a moment.
Next.
And boom. And just like that, the umbrella becomes accessible in the root card. That's one of the things you love about the tree modus, the happy surprises.
This truly seems like the worst captcha log system ever, because you can only access stuff from the root card.
And then it drops
once
everything
you do
else,
that,
right?
it drops everything else. I don't understand.
This is one of the many things I love about Rose, though. Yeah,
so totally extra.
Yeah, everything about like this whole section where it's talking about like the one-upsmanship games with her mother, and you see her doing this. Like it's so funny because if you had read the previous MS Paint adventures, you wouldn't really know that like Andrew Hussey is capable of writing something more like this. That's like this characterized. I guess Problem Sleuth has some characterization in it, but like this is like next level stuff.
Yeah, so good. Okay, Rose, head out the back door.
Okay, enough snuff. Time to get going. Ugh.
And
There
her
she
mother
is.
has appeared. With a martini.
You
glass.
don't know how she does that. You're never safe in this house. And of all the things to be doing during a power outage, she's up to her ironic housewife routine again. That mop bucket doesn't even have any water in it. What an absolute madwoman.
Rose, hop over counter, landing in a roll.
Birds gotta fly. Youth roll.
Youth roll.
Lousy, goddamn, stupid wizards.
Meanwhile, in the past again, is that me?
Yeah, that's you. You're almost done patching up the hole in your window with the gaffer tape, but it's sort of hard to get any work done when people keep pestering you all day. You guess you better get that.
Dave, answer chum.
Who's being GG?
I was GG last time.
Yep. And I was still being Dave?
Yeah, go for it then.
Garden Gnostic GG began pestering Turntech Godhead at 1836. That is 636?
Six.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's not a weird number or anything. Oh, wait. I think that's like... If that's like the reverse of 430... No, it isn't. Is it? Okay, who cares? Hi, Dave.
Hey, sup?
Not much. Sup with you, bro.
Haha, good one. It's alright. Being chill, I guess. You know how it goes.
Great. Feeling cool today, Mr. Cool Guy.
Oh man, you know it.
So cool.
You know shit is ice cold up in here. Shit is wicked bananas, I am telling you.
I don't know how to do an emoticon smiley face. Smiley face. So, have you talked to John today?
Yeah, we were just talking a while ago about how he sucks at his Silodex. Can you believe he uses stack? That kid is ridiculous.
Lol. Well, that doesn't sound like much fun.
What was it you use again? Wait, never mind. I forgot whenever we talk about your goofy moduses, I get a migraine. What do you want with John?
Smiley face. I want to tell him happy birthday and ask about his birthday package.
Oh yeah, I was being sort of cagey and told him to check the mail because I was wondering if mine came yet.
I think it did.
Yeah?
And I think mine came too.
So, I guess you want to know if he likes it or something?
No, he will not open it. He will lose it.
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that, I guess.
No, it's good actually, because he will find it again later when he really needs it, which of course is why I sent it in the first place.
See, I never get how you know these things.
Sam says in the chat that she is able to access everything as long as she drops. Okay. I see.
Yeah, the tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as she drops everything first, and at least it doesn't shoot things out. I mean,
Yeah,
it does
that's
drop
true.
them all over the place, though.
Yeah. I may have lost my spot.
If you're on, I don't know. I just know that I know.
Oh, I don't know. I just know that I know.
All right.
Anyway, I have to go. I have to feed Beck, which is always a bit of an undertaking.
Man, if I were you, I would just take that fucking devil beast out behind the woodshed and blow its head off.
I don't think I could, even if I tried.
Yeah. Say hi to your granddad for me too, okay?
She does like a
small face.
It's really hard to describe this face, but she does a face. Yes, I guess an encounter with him is almost certain. It is usually intense.
Well, yeah, isn't it always with family? But he sounds like a total badass.
Yeah, he totally is. Anyway, gotta go.
See ya.
Heart. Dave, get phone.
It will be handy to have your phone, 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 8, remainder 10 equals 8, on standby, so you won't always have to go back to your computer whenever someone pesters you. This way you can text message 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 18, remainder 10 equals 8. People, no matter where you are or what outrageously cool thing you're up to.
I feel like when this came out, iPhones were less of a thing.
I mean, it was 2009, so I feel like the first iPhone was 2008, but...
Yeah.
But that was before...
like a pretty new... The idea of a smartphone was fairly new, I think.
Yeah, like it was more along the lines of like a BlackBerry, but that's an iPhone. Like that is an iPhone, right?
Yeah, that is an iPhone.
That's like an original iPhone or like an iPhone 3G maybe.
Yeah. Next.
So cool. I forget who was reading these.
That's you.
That's me. John, pursue adversary into that room.
And I'm doing the narration for John as well.
Sure. Unless Evan wants to.
Even-
I don't know.
Do you want to?
Hex can do it.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And even meaner while, in the present, sort of. Once again, the slippery antagonist eludes you. You only find more of these unpleasant oily smears. Someone is pestering you. Both your PDA and computer register the message.
This chum will know what to do.
All right. I'm out of my room now looking for my bros game.
Oh, good. Yeah, there is no sign of Rose yet. I hope she is okay.
Well, if she comes back, I'll be ready. You better know what you're talking about, because this could get ugly. Brought my phone, and I also took my awesome katana with me in case things get too hot to handle. And they always do.
Sess in the chat says that first iPhone was released in 2007.
Oh, okay.
It's good to have
All
the
right.
fact checking.
Yeah.
You mean that cheap piece of shit you have on your wall?
F you. It's sharp, and it's awesome, and it's a sword. End of story.
Okay, I really don't care. I'm in my room again. I really think there's someone else in this house, like monsters or something.
Howie?
I wish.
Dude, monsters aren't real. That's stupid kid stuff for stupid babies.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right.
What are you, an idiot? Of course there's monsters in your house. You're in some weird evil monster dimension. Come on. Skepticism is the crutch of cinematic troglodytes. Like, hey, mom, dad, there's a dinosaur or ghost or whatever in my room. Yeah, right, Junior, go back to bed. Fuck you, mom and dad. How many times are we going to watch this trope unfold? It wasn't goddamn funny the first time I saw it. Just once, I'd like to see dad crap his pants when a kid says there's a vampire in his closet. Oh shit, everyone in the minivan. Be fucking dad of the year right there.
Okay, stop. What do I do?
What do you have? A hammer? Man, so lame. Okay, whatever. You should look into weaponizing your Silodex. My bro is always getting on my case about it, but man, it's not as easy as it sounds. But if you're fighting monsters left and right, you don't have much choice.
Okay, I guess I can read up on data structures some more. How's it going there?
I'm out in the living room. He's usually here, but I don't see him. Might be playing his mind games. He's always pulling this ninja shit. All I see is little Cal over there, so I guess he can't be far.
Oh god, so lame.
What?
See, I just don't know why you think it's cool, his ventriloquist rapping thing.
Oh, Lil Cal? No, man. Lil Cal is the shit.
That's fine, you are entitled to your opinion. I am just saying that being a white guy who is a rapper with a ventriloquist doll is not cool by any stretch of the imagination or by any definition of the word cool, ironic, or otherwise. That's all I'm saying. I think that's the only reference to a character being a particular ethnicity in Homestuck, except for way later in Act 6 with the whole peachy Caucasian
the peachy business
thing. In a million years, when I'm on live stream number 304 or whatever, when we talk about that, we'll get into the backstory about that. But
that'll be fun.
Anyhow.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know, because Dave is, in Texas, I think?
Yes, Dave is in Texas.
Yeah, so when Homestuck was updating and I was, talking with friends about it, one of my friends had canon that he had, a really thick Texan accent.
Oh, I love that.
Which was pretty fun, yeah. But I can't do a Texan accent, so we'll just pretend that's not happening.
I remember when I was head casting Homestuck, I used to like the idea of Dave being George Watsky.
Oh,
like who's a white rapper, and I always had Bro as Bo Burnham. Anyhow.
Oh my god. That just colors those characters so much.
I feel like I still read anything that character says in Bo Burnham's voice, because I feel like that's such I don't know. I feel like that fits his weird way of Seth says Hussey got so pissed when people pointed out he described Bro as white and temporarily changed it just to say like a nonsensical. Yeah, I think I remember that. Like a key smash, yeah. But now it's changed back. Interesting.
Yeah.
We didn't even finish this past week.
Yeah, okay. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah, bullshit. Cal is dope. Puppets are awesome. John Egbert blows. The end.
Yeah, more like the opposite of all those things is the thing that is true. I'm going to read. Good luck with your bro. Read your book.
Such a
Stay
sick
wary
burn.
of these foes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Pfft, monsters. Only dumb babies who poop in their diapers believe in that stuff.
Rose, youth roll right out the front door.
Is this the Strife page?
You.
Yeah. Should I screen share or?
Yeah.
There's no text or anything, right?
Yeah, I
So
guess
we can
technically
just
you can just
click the
Oh,
button.
oh, right.
each
Yeah,
one.
it's just an animation.
It's more linear.
Yeah, the music's really loud for me. It's good
Yeah,
though.
me too. You can change the volume though.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh. I pressed grieve.
Aggress, passive.
Blotto.
Empty suicide threat. Abjure, guardian rubric, ironic indulgence, a beautiful pony. Abstain, ironic negligence. Yeah, that's cute. Auto parrier, I love that. A reference to auto parry. Anyhow, I'm gonna click through to the next page.
Cool.
Yep. It looks like Mom has satisfied her strife quota for the day. She simply returns to her housework. No point in going out the front door anymore. Might as well head out the back, like you originally planned.
Rose, first, be the pony. Second, trample mom.
You can't be the stupid pony, and frankly, you can't imagine why anyone would want to. But you give the pony a begrudging pat on the snout anyway. Her name is Maplehoof.
Maplehoof. John, turn around. Shall I go ahead and read this? Yeah, I'll go ahead and read this.
Yeah.
Data structures for assholes. Chapter 7. God damn it, why do I even bother? The good news, finally your revolting incompetence can be put to use. Instead of accidentally firing a Silodex full of steak knives into a priceless oil painting of your beloved great aunt, you can turn that fumbling fury towards one of your foes, such as the ability to grasp painfully simple concepts. The bad news, I'm tired of explaining myself hoarse to you gibbering fuckwads. In this chapter, I will be phoning it in with the liberal use of diagrams and shitty clip art. What are you going to do about it? You're going to wriggle in your own viscous secretions like the worms you are, that's what. Here, learn something for a change. And then you have, like, the globe is capsulogged into a Silodex full of cinder blocks, which leads a cinder block flying into the little angry guy's face. Asshole notes. Purse your lips together to form a stiff pucker. Apply them firmly to my rear end. I now pronounce you man and wife. Now get in the kitchen and make my ass some dinner, bitch.
Wow.
Have either of you ever... Are you familiar with the For Dummies books?
Yeah,
Somewhat.
Yeah, I feel like they're no longer as in vogue as they were before, like, a lot of how-to instructions on the internet or, like, instructive YouTube videos and stuff. Like, I don't know if I've read one in 10 years or so, but
yeah.
I do vaguely remember, like, the format of them, and I'm sure they still...
I think I saw one in, like, a little free library a while ago, but it was for, like, coding and also, like, 20 years old.
Yeah, I feel like
okay.
they do more of those online now, but I feel like they still make them. Just they definitely seem like a
Randy says they're
library
still in
thing.
production.
Yeah, I bet people over 60 love them.
I'm the narrator, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're trying to read, okay? This book is already unpleasant enough as it is without weird voices in your head nagging you to do things. Besides, I thought we already agreed there's no such thing as monsters.
Arrow! Exclamation!
Fine, you'll interrupt your reading and turn around, but you don't see what could possibly be so, oh my god, it's a monster.
S arrow 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 exclamation. Another strife page. Don't move or the bunny gets it.
Oh, just a minute.
Aggrieve. Put the bunny back in the box. I love that.
Nice.
Rose, exit.
You leave through the back door. Nearby is the transformer, which distributes electricity from the underground generator powered by the river flowing beneath your house. That's super extra. The transformer was struck by lightning, though, and no longer works. You wonder if your mother has any plans to have it fixed. You guess she'd rather just play her mind games in a dark house like a weirdo. You can see the mausoleum and the portable generator across your backyard. You're almost there.
Yeah, I believe Rose's house is based off of a real house.
It's crazy.
Really? I didn't know
I'm
that.
not surprised, though. There's like...
Weird. I mean, it has like very distinct architecture.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I think I've seen a house like this before. Anyways, Rose, use umbrella.
That goes about as well as it could.
Well, the W gets stuck to the generator. That's good. Oh. That violin must be screwed.
Yeah.
Next.
You regather your items and begin the soggy trek mausoleum ward.
Get up, John. This is no time for slumber. Another strike.
She left the W. She left the W. Oh, wow, that's loud. She left the W, Magnus.
Yeah.
Arrow keys, WASD to walk, spacebar to attack. Beating up on...
You should just mash it.
Yeah. And then he attacks with the bunny. Okay.
Right.
Rachel points out the violin's going to be very out of tune.
Yeah, I'm sure the humidity isn't helping either.
Rose, forget the W and make haste to the mausoleum.
Retrieving the W never even crossed your mind. It's just a stupid magnet.
Next.
There she goes.
And there's like a fire in the woods now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is one of those like moments where like Homestuck is still very much using like the same aesthetic, but like built into something a lot more like interesting to look at than
like
black and white art.
Yeah, they're doing more of like the semi-hero mode stuff. Like it's still not like completely like actual physically proportioned correctly, but it's like, oh, this looks like not sprites.
Yeah. I will say this next page is page 400. And Act 1 was about 250 pages, whereas Act 2 is about 500 pages. So I'm going to plan for this stream to go to page 500, which will get, or thereabouts, find a good stopping point around there, which will get us halfway through Act 2, and then that'll be the end of the stream.
Cool.
Sounds good.
We're going to read about 100 more pages, which means we're like a little more than like halfway through what we're going to do today.
So 250 per... There's 8,000 pages. So
yeah, but like some of those are like opened down.
Yeah, some of the pages are literally like gonna take an entire 3-hour session or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm committing to doing all of them, by the way. That's not a commitment I feel like I've made. But
yeah, we could stop at Act 5.
Depends how long the pandemic goes.
How long are we homestuck for?
Exactly. Yeah. Once we're not stuck at home, I mean, we've escaped the narrative. So, John, salvage your weapon and fight on.
Seth says, if this was a real text parser adventure game, failing to pick up the W would lead to the game being unwinnable 5 hours later.
True.
That's so true.
And Randy says that it would take 40 sessions to finish Homestuck, which is less than a year. You know.
This is, yeah, I like this. This one's kind of fun because you're actually like using the Silodex like you're actually in a video game, using the rules that you already know about, and then the sweet catch of the PVA, and then picking up the grist.
Oh, and it's dead. Yeah. Then
you said, put the bunny back in the box.
Now, why couldn't he put the bunny back in the box?
Now exult. Victory. Spoils are yours.
That's a good punchline.
The eshalader. Do you want to read through these?
Yeah, sure. So at the bottom, Green Tyke, Juvasquirt, and Plucky Tot. That's he climbed to ring Juvasquirt and Plucky Tot. What's left is Fidgety Bopper, Ankle Biter, Champ Fry, Pesky Urchin, Nipper Cadet, Brave Sprout, Cool Buckaroo, Knee-High Pilgrim, Moppet of Destiny, Gadabout Pipsqueak, Boy Skylark, Rumpus Buster, and Lodestar Youth. I don't know if any video games that actually like do this have different like titles for each level. Usually it's just like you climb to level 1, level 2, etc.
Sometimes there's like milestones of some kind.
Sure, or like achievements.
It's sort of like like Animal Crossing gives you titles
Yes.
and you achieve stuff.
Although those aren't linear. You can
But
mix and match, which is really fun.
A couple Japanese games do that, because I know the Kingdom Hearts what's it called? Mobile game also had like a title thing where you unlock prefixes and suffixes that you put together.
Interesting.
It's fun. I noticed there's also a scroll bar on this ladder, so potentially there's far more.
We'll
Anyway,
see what happens
dancing.
when you hit the top. Or Ring Fit. Does Ring Fit have that?
Does Ring Fit? I've only played Ring Fit. I've only done like 2 or 3 sessions of it. So.
I've only seen someone play it.
They were different for classes. Cool Buckaroo sounds very Chuck Tingle now. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if I still believe this, but there was a while where I was seriously entertaining the conspiracy theory that Chuck Tingle is in fact Andrew Hussey.
Oh my god.
Because I feel like Chuck Tingle's rise to internet success kind of corresponds with the period where work on Hiveswap had kind of stalled out and there was like no Homestuck content being made. And I know that work on the Chuck Tingle game involved like a lot of the same like people as were involved in Hiveswap at various points, like Cohen Edenfield and so I don't know whether that's even reasonable, and I haven't really thought about it in a while. But
that Chuck Tingle game still isn't out.
So that's very interesting.
I didn't know there was a game.
Yeah,
but I am willing to accept this conspiracy theory.
I think at this point it seems unlikely, but you never know.
Yeah, well, Chuck Tingle's identity still hasn't been revealed, though. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We'll maybe history will prove me wrong or prove me right. But anyhow,
all right. There's John doing his little dance.
Mm-hmm.
The amazing victory allows you to scale the first 2 achievement rungs on your Escher ladder. You are now a plucky tot with a new feather in your cap to show for it. The Escher ladder rewards your bold ascent with 125 boon dollars. You waste little time in storing them in your ceramic pork hollow. Additionally, climbing the rungs has boosted your gel viscosity and cash limit.
I feel like
by expanding your cash limit.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like some of those like gel viscosity, I don't even know what that means, having read all of Homestuck.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the things like cash limit, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. By expanding your cash limit, you've made room for all that nice grist you just collected. You now have 32 fragments of build grist and 10 fragments of shale.
Could gel viscosity be health?
Could be.
Maybe.
Huh. What about that card?
It seems the shale imp had allocated the bunny to its strife specibus. Sort of a stupid thing to use for a weapon, but you might as well grab it and stick the bunny in your strife deck while you're at it. It will, at the very least, be safer there.
Okay.
You group the 2 specify in your strife portfolio. No self-respecting strifer would be caught dead without one.
I feel like Dave said earlier that your allocation is permanent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, his hammer kind also turned into handle kind when his hammer broke.
True.
That will be important later.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Dave was just lying.
I feel like that will be important later is a lot of things in Homestuck. But also, oddly, some things aren't. Gather the scattered...
Like gel viscosity?
Yes, exactly. Gather the scattered bits of your large hammer.
Oddly enough, it seems breaking the sledgehammer altered the adstratus from hammerkind to handlekind, even going so far as expelling the head of your smaller hammer from your deck to force compliance. You didn't even notice it in the heat of battle. You grabbed the sledgehammer handle, expelling the useless Harlequin figurine.
Now repair the hammer.
You merge the sledgehammer head with its handle and return it to your strife deck, repairing the hammerkind abstratus in the process. The smaller hammer handle is ejected from the deck, since, of course, handles of any sort no longer belong in there. Obviously.
Fine. Now what?
Dave is pestering you, but you don't have time to deal with his nonsense right now. Something is amiss in your room. You can't quite put your finger on it.
Next.
And now it's just a mausoleum with a cat head on it.
It's beautiful.
Rose.
Oh, I was just looking at the chat. Randy is saying, I'm comfortable with the idea Dave doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
Seth says, I think it's permanent in the sense that he can't get that hammer back. Which, maybe?
Yeah, I'm trying to think through whether that makes logical sense, and I'm not sure. Anyhow.
Or
maybe he can't change what's on the Specibus card, so if he only had one card, he couldn't change that card from Hammer to Bunny, but he can still put a second card in.
That makes sense, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or like alter the hammer.
Does he lose a card if he allocates it to the strife deck? I don't know.
But I know, like, the cards in his Sylladex can be, like, infinitely repurposed, apparently, but I guess each card, once it's been allocated, that card is, I guess, permanently allocated. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, go ahead, Evan.
Rose, hurry and activate the generator.
Right. You fire up the generator and drag a cord into the mausoleum. It, of course, would be foolish to run the generator inside a confined space. Generator safety is everyone's business.
Rose, defile tome. We should, like, take a look at this tome for a second, because it's wild.
It's so good.
There's like a cat with angel wings, and there's a coffin with a cross on it.
Tiny coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Jaspers. Have to make space for the laptop. Besides, your final resting place is already a mockery. You should have decomposed years ago under a bed of petunias like a normal cat, not given to a taxidermist and fitted with a tiny custom-tailored suit and then stuffed in a coffin built for infants.
Oh my god. Rose, plug in your laptop.
You plug in your laptop and connect to the internet signal again. Everything predictably falls out of your Sylladex, but you're not about to get bent out of shape about it. You have bigger fish to fry. Looks like Dave noticed you're back online. He pesters you like clockwork. And there's John. What on earth is he up to now?
The door, John. Look at the door.
You're right. Didn't Rose yank the door off its hinges and prop it on your bed? Someone or something has put it back and left it slightly ajar.
Incredibly alarming. Investigate.
Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
What? This is so outrageous.
This music.
And there we have Nana Sprite.
Yep. She's winning.
The Prankster's Gambit is all my favorite.
Rose, pester John.
This doesn't look like Rose is pestering John. Okay, so TG says, oh, there you are. John said your house is burning down. Are you on fire yet or what?
No, for now, I have retired to the safety of my smaller building, which is my...
Oh, I think Evan cut out.
Evan?
Evan? We lost... Did we
lose
Evan?
Are you still there?
Are you still there? Huh, okay. I don't know.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
you're there?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Oh, you cut out.
Did I read the whole sentence?
No, take it from the top of the sentence.
Okay. No, for now I have retired to the safety of my smaller building, which is much closer to the forest fire threatening my residence.
Oh, well, that's a relief. John told me to get the game to help you out of there, so I'm working on that now.
Working on it?
Randy says lost connection, which is a good joke.
Yeah, my bro's coffee. Long story. Hey, don't tell John this, but I think he might have been right about the puppets. They're sort of starting to freak me out a little.
You're referring to your brother's collection?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's cool and all. Semi-ironic puppet thing or whatever, or semi-ironic. Man, I don't even know. I'm just starting to think some of the shit is going a little far, and it's kind of fucked up.
I've seen his websites. I like them.
Yeah, well, you would. Oh man, I wish little Cal wouldn't look at me like that with those dead eyes. Jesus. Sometimes I dream that he's real and he's talking to me, and I wake up in a cold sweat and basically flip the fuck out.
Interesting.
Oh God, why did I just tell you my dream? You're gonna have a field day with that.
I am currently scrawling notes furiously into one of the many psychoanalyst journals I maintain for you. Published papers forthcoming. Because, it's not like either of us have anything better to do at this moment than evaluate each other's radically debilitating pathologies.
Yeah, I'm gonna get moving. Oh, have you heard from John? He's not answering me.
He won't answer me either, but I am watching him. I suspect he is preoccupied with the fact that he just had a bucket of water dumped on his head by the ghost of his dead grandmother, who also happens to be dressed like a clown.
All right, I'm out. Later.
Interrogate this mad woman. I'll be Nana. No, wait, no, I'm John, so I can't be Nana. I'll be John.
You're John.
Who's gonna be Nana?
I guess I can be Nana.
Nana?
Yes, dear?
Wow, you scared the living daylights out of me.
Hoo hoo hoo.
Well, I guess it was a really great prank. Good one, Nana. Anyway, are you really my dead Nana?
Of course, John. I have come back to help you on your journey through the medium and beyond. I am delighted to see what a fine young man you have turned out to be, just like your father.
Okay, I guess I will take your word for it. I don't remember you at all. My dad said I was really young when you died. Hey, speaking of which, do you know where he is? I looked everywhere for him. Before we move on, I should note, all of the conversations so far have been instant message chats that have been referred to as pester logs. This is a sprite log, which is why characters are referred to by their full names rather than their chat handles. So, pointing it out.
Yep.
All right, page turn.
You see Dad fighting the imp things. They're wearing jester outfits. I wonder why that is. Now he's gone. Your father was kidnapped.
Oh no.
When you crossed over to the medium, it's underlined, he was apprehended by the very forces of darkness which your presence here has awakened.
What? Okay, so what is the medium you are talking about?
It is where we are now, a realm that is a ring of pure void, dividing light and darkness. It turns in the thick of the incipisphere, a place untouched by the flow of time in your universe.
You mean because we are inside a computer or in the game software or something?
A computer? Why, what is that, dear? Some newfangled contraption like the horseless auto boxcar?
Well, it's like this machine that,
Of course I know what a computer is, John. I was just pulling your leg.
Oh, okay.
No, John, you are not inside a computer or software or anything like that. Try not to be so linear, dear. The software that brought you here was merely a mechanism that served as a gateway. Its routines, in a way, serve to invoke this realm's instance, yet it stands independently of any physical machine, and somewhat paradoxically, always has.
I'm not sure I get it, but all right. So what do I actually need to be doing here?
I think it would be best if we started with the big picture.
Okay, a lot of exposition dropping. I feel like one of the things that Homestuck's been doing so far is like throwing information at you about like systems and how they work. Like first the Sylladex and then like the Spurb client connection and the Alchemeter and then the like and now this basically. So all right, so go on.
Sound.
Got our animation.
We see a bunch of things, and then we see a bunch of spirographs. Ooh, it's a weird cloud circle thing.
All right. Go ahead.
Above the medium, beyond the 7 gates, residing at the core of the Incipisphere, is a place known as Skaya. Legend holds that Skaya exists as a dormant crucible of unlimited creative potential. What does this mean, you ask? I'm afraid my lips are sealed about that, dear. Hoo-hoo. But needless to say, where a realm of such profound importance is concerned, forces of light will forever be charged with its defense, while forces of darkness will just as persistently covet its destruction.
All right.
And, as it so happens, at the very center of this realm, whose fate is in question, these very forces duel on a stage stuck in eternal stalemate. Yes, they have dueled in this manner forever. That is, until you showed up. And now, in the middle of Skya, we see a 3x chessboard with just 2 kings.
Constantly out stalemating one another.
Yep.
Yeah. So me, John, me.
That's a good joke. Okay. Yes, you, John. Before your mishap with my ashes, you may recall the sprite's previous incarnation, which resulted from its kernel hatching. You see, this hatching occurs automatically in response to your arrival. The result is a pair of kernels, one dark, one light, each carrying the information they were prototyped with before the hatch. One goes down to a kingdom entrenched in darkness, one other up to a kingdom basking in light. Each comes to rest in an orb up atop a spire, of which there are 3 others in kind. The 4 spires are situated above a throne, and these 2 thrones preside over the 2 respective sovereign powers. And once the kernels are situated, that is when the game is afoot. The true war begins. Light versus dark, good versus evil. This is a war that the forces of light are always destined to lose, without exception.
Rachel points out in the chat that Very Forces Duel is a VFD in the wild for any Series of Unfortunate Events fans.
Wow. I would not have got that.
Nor I. A quest of futility, then. Wow, really? Then what's the point?
That remains for you to find out, dear. For you see, the journey you are about to take is the ultimate riddle.
Whoa.
For now, your objective is to proceed towards Skya and pass through the first gate, situated directly above your house. Not even terribly far. The gates will become progressively more difficult to reach, so you had better be prepared to sharpen your adventuring skills.
How am I supposed to get up there?
You build.
Arrow exclamation. Okay, I think I get it now. So I guess the battle against good and evil is sort of irrelevant? Well, I don't know. That all sounds kind of weird, but in any case, we build the house to get to those gates, and then I can save my dad.
Yes, John.
And then after that, we solve this ultimate riddle thing and save the Earth from destruction.
Oh no, I'm afraid not.
Arrow question mark?
Your planet is done for, dear. There is nothing you can do about that.
Oh.
Your purpose is so much more important than saving that silly old planet, though.
And that is? Yes, I will have to agree with the float hag about that.
John, you are such a good boy. I know you will succeed.
Thanks, Nana.
You are a good boy, and good boys deserve treats.
Hooray.
I am going to bake you some cookies.
The hag mentioned cookies. Pursue her.
Oh, god damn it. That's just what you need. More baked goods.
Sess says, you know, I sometimes wish Homestuck had just stuck with the game's story instead of having everything go off the rails, because I actually really like all the Sky stuff. I do too. They kind of go back to it a little.
Yeah,
A
they go
little
back and
bit.
forth from it. I do very much like how like a lot of what's being laid out here is like how a suburb game is supposed to go under the best of circumstances, and like you kind of have to like internalize a lot of what was said on the previous couple pages. So like if you're just watching the stream and you just kind of glazed over that, then I don't know, if you want to understand the story of Homestuck, then you might want to like go back and look at pages 420 through 428 again and kind of internalize, all right, the Inciposphere, the medium, Skya, like all these things. But yeah, it is like it's some really good mythology building that they do weird things with. They don't follow it in a straightforward way.
But part of what I kind of like about Homestuck is that they sort of re-explain this stuff a lot. Like sometimes you might not get it the first time, but they'll re-explain it eventually.
True.
Like people say it's confusing, and it is confusing, but like 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 rereading it once, like once you've like read like 1,000 pages and then you just go back and reread some stuff, you suddenly like just understand everything, because it's like, oh, okay, now I get what the heck was happening. It's weird. Okay.
Yeah, like a good example of that, honestly, is like, it's probably because, like, for instance, in Act One, we went through all of that like nonsense with like the Crextruder and stuff like that, and then at the very beginning of Act Two, it just gets recapped by Rose in the game FAQs.
Yeah.
So it reinforces itself pretty well.
Yeah.
Did we read that? Hex, did you read that? Sorry.
Hmm?
Did you read the Oh God Damn It? I forget whether you did.
I did, but I can read it again.
No, it's fine. John,
Okay.
you do not say no to cookies. I command you to get them.
You totally abjure the hell out of that idea. You're so busy abjuring, you didn't even notice Rose has been trying to pester you this whole time.
I don't think I've ever
Rose.
heard that word outside of the context of Homestuck. Abjure.
Abjure.
Same.
I mean, I've heard like abscond like one or few times,
Yeah.
but usually that's just like a Homestuck like dog whistle.
Abjure, solemnly renounce a belief, cause, or claim. Okay.
Yes. Randy says, I mean, first time through, it mostly just seems confusing because he invented a bunch of nonsense words. And I'm like, yeah, that's true.
But
There's
they're fun
Yeah.
nonsense words.
They are fun nonsense words that are like linguistically like plausible.
Like
Like-
alchemeter.
Yeah, like you can imagine that being a real word, but like a word that like an engineer made up or something.
Yeah.
Rose hit John in the head with box to get his attention.
You give John a swift drubbing in the noggin, but he is undeterred. That is some fit he is throwing.
Next.
Perhaps you will take the spare moment to contemplate the Nanosprite's strange tale. It may also behoove you to record your thoughts on these developments in your GameFAQs walkthrough/journal. It can be hard finding time to update it. In fact, you're not even sure where you found the time to write what's already there.
Next. And she looks at the cat.
Oh, is that so, Jaspers? And just who do you think you're looking at with that smug grin? The last thing you need is sass from a dead cat. It's pretty much all his fault that you're in this mess in the first place, so he can just button it.
John, cookies. Now.
You refuse outright.
This impudence is insufferable. Go get the cookies.
Well,
Randy,
when you put it...
oh, sorry. Randy
Yeah,
in
go ahead.
chat says, well, Sess first says, I have definitely tried to figure out some kind of abjuring noise for John to be making in that scene. And Randy says, my son got really into a similar comic called Awful Hospital. I've heard of that.
I haven't.
Which has a similar backstory of techno-babbly terms. Is that the Bogleach comic?
I don't know
I have
it.
not heard of this either.
Oh, okay.
I am Googling it, and it's at bogleach.com, so.
Okay. Yeah. He did the Pokemon reviews that I like so much.
Maybe I should read that. Anyhow,
Okay. Anyways,
Um,
what page are we on?
we're
435.
yeah we're this impudence is insufferable. Go get the cookies,
Well, when you put it so politely, how can John decline?
That's a
John.
really
You
funny
are
panel.
stupid. Sorry.
That's a really fun panel. He's just screaming into it.
Yes,
Yeah.
John. You are stupid.
You really need to work on your manners.
Stupid, stupid, dumb.
That's not a command. It's nothing. It's stupid. You're stupid.
He's flipping off the camera.
For the last
he
time.
leaves.
Sorry.
As he leaves, he's flipping off
Oh,
the
yeah.
camera.
For the last time, I command you to get the cookies, boy.
It's just not gonna happen, buddy.
Years in the future.
But not really enough to write home about.
Yeah. An agitated finger slips mid-keystroke. So we have our little creature looking over at the thing. Oh wait, yeah. The joke here is that he hits caps lock, which not only decapitalizes his letters but also unlocks a capsule. And he is thrilled by the beans and mustard and a book of human etiquette.
Beans.
This
mustard in a can.
I don't know. I mean, survivalists, preppers. This has serious like pandemic vibes now.
Oh my god, you're right.
This character is like one of my favorite characters ever.
I love him so much.
Wayward Vagabond is the best.
Yeah.
Seth says, imagine if at some point the strange white protrusion that we don't talk about was giving the finger.
Yeah, we don't talk about that protrusion.
Or its fingers.
All right, next page. Oh, we're back to game FAQs. That's quite a lot. Evan, do you want to read that or?
I can still read it.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Game FAQs.
I'm glad I could explain the capsule joke to Sess, who just said, "Oh, I didn't realize it was unlocking a capsule." Yeah.
I also did not realize this.
There are similar like pun jokes like with the tab key and yeah. Anyhow.
Oh man, that's the best. Okay, we can't talk about future stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
no.
The long and short, the medium too. I may have been hasty in advising you not to bother with the prototyping process. If I spared any detail, it was only to optimize your chances of survival. And if you find yourself begrudging the absence of certain instructions, which if followed would have resulted in your demise, I guess that makes two of us. Otherwise, you're welcome. But the fact appears to be that prototyping the kernel sprite before making your getaway may offer the only opportunity to exercise control over your new environment, a place known as the medium. Also, if prototyped with one or two sufficiently, albeit loosely, humanoid and or sentient elements, living or otherwise, it offers the chance to have all this explained to you by an apparitional guide through whatever sort of cryptic, sketchy doublespeak your choice of prototyping elements engenders. There's lots of slashes in those to show to be more broad. In lieu of this, you may be forced to settle for my clear, thorough explanations and assiduous dissection of raw data. Again, don't mention this. If you have made it to the medium with an unmolested vanilla sprite, well, I've already covered the bad news about this missed opportunity, and I will go into this further soon, though to what extent this is actually bad news, I'm not sure. I know only the result of my co-player's current configuration, wherein the sprite was prototyped once before the departure and once after. Which brings us to the good news, which is that you can still prototype after your departure and salvage the massively rewarding experience of haggling with an exposition-slinging phantom guide. So long as you avoid prototyping with terribly inert items, such as a brass door knocker and your father's pornography collection. Actually, that might be interesting. If you are stuck by the spirit of such experimentation, please don't hesitate to contact me about it. So yes, you can enhance your sprite in this way, but doing so after your departure will no longer induce this effect on the medium I alluded to. That can only be accomplished with one or more pre-departure prototypings. In fact, we can extrapolate that there are only so many ways to prototype a sprite. Tiers of prototyping in relation to departure. Both before, one after, both after, only one either before or after, or none. Those occurring before will affect the medium through the kernel's hatching process, and your guide, i.e. the sprite. Those Those occurring after will only affect the sprite. The effects this process has on the medium, or more globally, the inciposphere, are still vague to me. They have to do with flavoring the forces you will struggle against, and generally all forces at odds with each other in this realm. It has given me some insight into the nature of the game, which I derive through extrapolation. We appear to be engaging an instance of a dimension with a highly flexible set parameters and a series of objectives surrounding an equally flexible mythological framework. Excuse me. This framework seems to begin as a sort of blank template and evolves with the player's actions and likely further evolves with the addition of more host-client connections and thus more prototyped kernels. I regret to say I can't be much more specific than that without loosely extrapolating further. There are plenty of questions that have occurred to me, however, questions concerning the kernel sprite, which I've raised implicitly already, such as what is the effect of an unprototyped kernel on the medium, or a doubly prototyped kernel for that matter, and even more salient are questions about the dimension itself. Do all players worldwide make it to this dimension if they successfully complete their departure? Or is a unique blank instance of a dimension created for such a new player? I have no evidence, but instinct tells me that it is closer to the latter situation. There is no indication of any other players present in this realm. Alterations in the realm seem singularly centered on the actions of my co-player and myself. If I had to stake anything on it, I would guess every separate client server pair activates its own fresh copy of an inciposphere, or a unique session, if you will. But the quality of players is a further complication which invites more questions. It seems the game was designed to suit two players most naturally, the server and the client, but through a mishap, my co-player and I have slipped out of the obvious tandem arrangement, and the only logical course of action is to continue playing is to string a daisy chain of server-client connections together until presumably the chain is complete. Theoretically, we could complete this chain with only one other player functioning as a server to my client and the client to my current co-player server, assuming he can recover it. The strange thing is, though, in our instance of this dimension, there are 4 receptacles for divided kernels, not 3. Does that mean we are destined to have a 4-player chain? How does the game know such a thing? Perhaps it does. If this proves to be the case, I trust I will be sufficiently numb to the realization. And then this next part is crossed out. I can consider nothing about this game surprising at this point, and in fact, from the first moments of play, it managed to deviate so far from my expectations that I completely forgot what my original purpose with it was. I had chances to test some information I could obtain on good authority during the prototyping phases, but it completely slipped my mind. Instead, the game's catacombs, securing the dark, twisted paths to necromancy, were blundered into rather on accident. But perhaps you don't need to know any of this. And then there's like this section in brackets: rethink organization, lead maybe waist deep
Logoriac sludge.
Logoriac sludge.
That's like wordy way of saying buried the lead.
Oh, trimmed down. Blech. Oh, I see.
All right. She's not finished with this yet. Geez, cut her some slack. Maybe you could go bug someone somewhere else for a while, or at the very least, somewhen else.
Months in the past, but not many. Same house,
Snowy.
but snowy. Show Pestrolog.
Both of these are my characters.
I'll be GG.
Okay.
Hi, happy birthday, Rose.
Hello, and thanks.
Did you get John's present yet?
I just opened it this very moment. What a stunning coincidence you would ask me about it now. I am stunned.
Yeah, I know. What will you make with it?
And who said it was something from which something else could be made?
Well, John did tell me what it was, duh.
I suppose I'll take a stab at learning the craft. It's the least I can do in response to the subtle dig concealed in his gesture. He often tells me I need a new hobby when I make perfectly reasonable analytical remarks.
Oh, but Rose, I don't think he meant anything like that by it. You see, not everybody always means the opposite of what they say the way you and Dave always do.
Maybe. His birthday is in a few months, isn't it?
Yep, I finally finished a present for him. I've been working on it for years.
Years? It's so hard to tell when you're joking, or if you're even capable of it.
Smiley face. I just mailed it too, so it is sure to get there on time. Mail takes a while to get anywhere from here.
I'll probably craft something with strong sentimental value. That should burn him.
I don't think you really mean that.
I guess not. So, shall I expect a green package dropped to my house via airmail from whatever screwball cranny of the globe you're tucked into?
No. Sorry, but you are sort of hard to shop. You are sort of hard shop for. Side eye, I guess. Besides, I have something for you today that I think you will like better than something in a box.
Oh?
It is a tip.
This is already intriguing enough to compensate for the grave scarcity of lavish gifts parachuting from the sky. Please go on. Sounds like Animal Crossing.
True that. Did you have a pet a long time ago that died?
Yes.
Okay, well, how did you feel about your cat? Did you love him a lot?
Okay, well, I didn't mention it was a cat or that it was a male. Let's pretend I'm surprised and you're embarrassed and move on. To answer your question, I would describe my feelings towards the animal as lukewarm.
Okay, that's fine. It doesn't really matter, I think. Just, what if someone told you you could play a game that would bring him back to life?
If someone told me that, I would regard the remark with a great deal of skepticism. If that someone was you, on the other hand, then I would have to ask preemptively, is
Yes!
that someone you?
Sorry, jump the gun.
Is that someone you?
Yes, that someone is me. I just thought you might find it interesting.
So, what is this game?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying is all. I think you'll hear about it later, and maybe you can talk to John and Dave about it. They're way more into all that stuff than I am.
I'll see what the word on the street is about it in due time. For now, I will probably order a copy of Knitting for Assholes. It would be a shame if I ran late with John's present. Dave, get katana.
You capture log your katana, 2 + 1 + 2 + 1 + 2 + 1 = 9, remainder 10 = 9, and prepare to venture out into the apartment to retrieve your bro's copy of the game. But first, maybe, just maybe.
S. Dave, retrieve dead bird.
Dude, that bird is long gone. It probably won't last long in this heat anyway. You don't even know what's up with this sick heat. The sun threatens to set but won't step off. It's staring you down like the big red eye of a hot needle skipping on a groove it's tracing around the earth. While lingering in midair, its heat seems to suspend time itself, stretching it like warped vinyl. It's meant to rain this season, but there ain't been a drop in sight. Even a little drizzle would help. Might help to fizzle this sizzle a little bizzle and set the record straight on this global turn tizzle. So don't change the dizzle, turn it up a little, I got a living room full of fine dime brizzles, waiting on the pizzle, the dizzle, and the shizzle. G's to the bizac, now ladies, here we go. When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. English romantic poet John Keats.
And then you can see that there's meteors coming down on this unspecified Texan city.
Little mini meteors.
Many meteors. Oh, and you can click next to get like a weird sun eye thing.
Yeah, you see that is in Dave's Ben Stiller shades.
Yep. Dave, exit your room and go into the living room.
Sorry, little dude, coming through. Got to put you down for a bit. You figure you've left him hanging long enough.
Well, that's a good callback. Dave, hastily enter the room with wild abandon.
You barge in and see a familiar face. A friendly face.
Awesome. Next.
I guess that's Mr. T. Yeah. You stand in the living room. Your bro spends most of his days in here. At night, he crashes on the futon over there. You don't see him anywhere, though. There's the puppet chest he stores little Cal in when he takes him out on gigs. But when he's home, he usually leaves Cal on display somewhere. And with good reason, because Cal is totally sweet. So sweet, man. Does bro not have a bedroom? I forget. Like, does he just live in the living room?
Maybe?
It says he sleeps on the futon,
right.
So I guess.
That's.
I mean, their apartment seems fairly big.
Yeah.
Relatively. Anyway, I assume he doesn't have a room for Iron. Wait, no, does he have a room? I feel like he has a room. Okay, anyways, Dave, pity the fool.
It's your brother's Mr. T puppet, which, of course, is kept in the apartment with a sense of profound, humorous irony. But as usual with your bro's exploits, this is no ordinary irony, or anything close to a pedestrian Tier 1 ironic gesture, which is a meager single step removed from sincerity. This is like 10 levels of irony removed from the original joke. It might have been funny like 8 years ago to joke about Mr. T and how he was sort of lame, but that was the very thing that made him awesome and badass, and that his awesomeness was also sort of the joke. But in this case, the joke is the joke, and that degree of irony itself is also the joke, and so on. Only highly adept satirical ninjas like you and your bro can appreciate stuff like this. It's cool taking stuff that other people think is funny but that you know really isn't, and making it funny again by adding subtle strata of irony which are utterly undetectable to the untrained eye. Also, for good measure, Mr. T is wearing a leather thong and handcuffed to a pantsless Chuck Norris puppet. God, you hope you can be as good as your bro at this someday. You'd never tell him that, though.
Dave, find little Cal and give fist bumps.
Cal's nowhere in sight. All you see is a bunch of your bro's weird nude puppets strung around haphazardly. You guess these things are kind of cool. Sort of.
Interesting. Anyways, Dave, play a game on the Xbox.
Can you still buy those things? Those puppets? We haven't been introduced to the name yet, have we? But
yeah,
I know they sold.
I think they were only available through the Kickstarter. I could be wrong.
Well, they were available one day on April Fool's Day, but I don't know if they're still.
I have no idea.
I'm
sure people make them themselves, though.
The poster of Muppet Babies Gonzo with his nose censored is disturbing.
God.
It looks like your bro was playing. It's not like him to leave in the middle of some totally intense gaming. Not like him to misplace Cal, either. Man, you hope the little guy's all right. Oh, there you are, dude. Didn't see you there. We be chill today, Cal. Yeah, you better fucking believe we be chill. Cal is the man. This is the first we've seen Cal.
Yes, he's horrifying.
Yep.
He's the most horrifying thing about him is the eyes.
Yeah.
The eyes are they're weirdly detailed in comparison to the rest of the body. Anyways, Dave, resist great urge to play Bro's Xbox.
You fail to resist the urge. You start thrashing up stunts, something uncanny brutal on your quest for mad snacks, yo, and get this way rude hunger under control. shit is basically flying off the hook. It's like shit wants nothing to do with that hook. The hook is dead to that shit. But you get stuck in some poorly modeled 3D fixture or something, like a railing or a piece of the wall, you'll have to reset. Fuck this shit.
Dave, give Lil Cal a bro fist bump.
Bump. Oh man, you almost forgot. Got to give the Seaman some props.
Next.
Randy's asking if those are some Jeff Dunham puppets in the poster on the wall. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not a Jeff Dunham person.
I can totally imagine that. Oh, I have no idea. I was looking at it and I have no idea. Dave, check out your bros sweet gear.
Hustlin' fuss.
God.
Your
This
bro
is
has
so terrifying.
Yeah. Your bro has so much sweet gear, it's hard to keep up with it all sometimes. Here's his computer setup. He's usually got a lot of stuff cooking on here at any given moment. Since he's not around, you might as well sneak a peek.
Dave, look at your brother's computer.
Oh, hell no. Your bro's computer is password protected, of course, to protect all of the incredible top secret shit he's got on the burners. Of course, you know what the password is, and he knows you know it, and you're both cool with that because the password is the most awesome thing it can be.
Next. Well,
you enter the password. It never says what the password is, though. It's puppets, though, right?
No, it's Little Cal.
Oh, okay, yeah. I love the parallels between Rose's relationship with her mother and Dave's relationship with Bro.
Yeah.
They're like completely different, but also parallel in some ways. Anyway, you enter the password. On the desktop is a hodgepodge of unnamed folders to store all the stuff he's working on. No one can decipher his organization system but him. He also tends to use the application Complete Bullshit to keep up with the ludicrous amount of websites and news feeds he monitors to stay hip to the scene.
God, I love there's just like new folders. It's so good. Yeah. Dave, open Complete Bullshit.
Oh God.
That's such a distressing user interface.
It's Complete Bullshit content aggregator, and it's just a bunch of.
Are any of these like legible, like home profile friends and comic number
comic
5?
Five. Yeah, that's definitely Sweet Bro.
There's the review of the game, Bro, that we were looking at earlier.
Profile inbox. That's probably like Facebook or something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stare at it too long.
Oh yeah, it hurts my eyes.
It's a little painful.
This is Complete Bullshit.
Dave, check if Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff has a sweet update.
Your bro keeps up with your projects in his aggregator, just like you keep up with his. He's tuned you into various blogs, and of course, he's tuned into your various blogs, and of course, Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. You navigate to the latest comic in one of the many bullshit feed bands. Let's look at that comic.
There's a comment on. I'm disappointed. The password doesn't have enough letters to be password.
Oh.
Remember when feed readers were a thing? I still miss Google
I miss
Reader.
Google Reader. Bro, I got a ticket for the big game. It's sports.
Dog, I am so jealous. You know I love the big game.
Oh yeah.
And then you can see
and
it.
There
told
he
you
goes.
Dog underneath.
Yeah. The big man
has the rock.
He's driving so hard through the point downtown.
Alley-oop, alley-oop, alley-oop for the slam dunk. And there it is.
And then he's, like sitting on the thing or something.
I supported the I forget whether it was a Kickstarter or what it was. I think it was the Kickstarter for the Spoon book, the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. So I have the fridge magnets that came with that.
Oh, do you have the barbecue sauce?
No, I did not get that tier. The tier that gave you barbecue sauce.
Yes, that's pretty much the only thing I wanted. I was like, they're selling barbecue sauce.
I was just like, I support these people. Like Drill contributed, throw money at these people.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I got, and I have the fridge magnets. I think are the only magnets on my fridge.
Yeah, I don't I have the old Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff book. And I did see the newer one at
I don't
like
I don't think I've even read it yet because I don't actually like Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff that much. But
it's yeah. I saw like a copy of the one that they did the Kickstarter for at Small Press Expo one year, but it was like the only copy they had printed, so they weren't selling them. Dave, mouse over the orange stripe containing plush rump.
Plush rump.
Boy.
Puppet Cams, go on the free tour for all the fuzzy, fluffy, frolicsome fun you can stomach and more.
It's not even like not safe for work, but it's so uncomfortable.
Depends where you work.
That's true.
Another of your bro's many ironic websites. The difference here is he rakes in thousands of dollars a month through this enterprise. Smuppets are a multi-billion-dollar-a-year enterprise, and it's awfully hard to resist taking a firm squeeze from the plump udder of that cash cow.
Oh man, there's like a chat. It's like soft ass joins. Oh, it's like an IRC chat.
Yeah.
Soft ass joins plush rump. Hi, soft ass quivers foam
proboscis. Bet there's a lot of give to that ass. Bounce a coin
limp
off it.
Legs akimbo.
Oh
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I bet that coin will take a good nap there.
Andrew Hussey spent a lot of his time before he did MSPA making comics that were designed to make you as uncomfortable as possible.
And see, this is why I bought into the Chuck Tingle thing.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Dave, stop wasting time and look for Bros Beta.
You guess you've messed around on his computer long enough. Better get a move on before it's too late for Rose, or worse yet, your bro catches you. But my God, the rumps. They are transfixing. You know this is ironic and all, and your bro reaches echelons of irony you could only dream of daring to fathom. But on rare occasions when your guard is down, it all seems just a tad unsettling to you.
So, okay.
And there's Cal.
I love in the chat. I love that Senior Wences is specifically one of the top menu packs.
I don't know that reference.
Me neither.
Nope.
Okay. So the Quivers Proboscis in the chat is taking the piss out of stereotypical furry way of chatting, right? Nuzzles your ooh rar.
Oh, I'm sure it was. And there's more along those lines in later Homestuck too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But,
oh God.
Cal's there.
Anyhow.
And now we can see Cal's eyes for real. And they're definitely so comforting.
Hey there, Cal. I love the gold tooth too.
Dave, give Lil Cow a nervous fist bump.
Can't do it. Can't do it, man.
You are sort of starting to flip the fuck out without losing your cool, of course.
Dave, pester John to ease your nerves.
You get Egbert on the line again to give him the lowdown on your progress. You feel it's important to keep the wires hot, but he's not answering. You wonder what that guy is up to.
Chat.
Hey. Yep. Hey, what is up? What happened with the monster that is totally definitely in your room? Did you kill it? Where are you, man? Anyway, things are cool here. Totally cool. Puppets are still awesome. No problems with them or anything. Like, just really, really awesome.
Next.
Looks like Rose is finally logged in again. Didn't John say her house was burning down? You wonder if she's on fire yet or what?
Chat says he was a super famous Spanish ventriloquist who was on Ed Sullivan and Johnny Carson like a ton of times. Oh, okay.
Okay, Senior Wences. Huh.
Dave, pester Rose.
Oh,
And-
there you are.
Oh,
Hmm?
yep. Keep.
John said your house was burning down. Are you on fire yet, or what?
So we've definitely read this one.
Yes,
like
we have
20 pages
on this
ago.
stream. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to reread this.
All right.
We just read it recently.
Okay, so it ends with ha ha ha. All right, I'm out later.
Seconds in the future, but not many.
John, what are you doing? Snap out of it. We ought to discuss what your grandma told you, don't you think? Fine. Enjoy your stupor. I'll go about my business elsewhere. Rose, deploy the punch Designex. John, whenever you read this, you should know I put the shale you collected to use and finally deployed the punch Designex. It is in your study. I can only drop it, though. You'll have to be the one to mess around with it and see what it does. When you're finished with your weird histrionics, maybe you could give it a try? I'm updating my walkthrough, and it would help to know what it does. Next. And
I
now
like the one
he's-
with the beagle puss and the
Yes.
pipe.
He's staring out the window. Also, I should probably warn you that your house and yard are completely infested with monsters now. Try to be careful. Next.
We're probably going to do about 25 more pages.
Cool.
Yep.
So I can see, stupid lousy imps. They're mucking up all my cool stuff.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm not sure what came over me there. I was acting really crazy for some reason, but my head feels like it's clearing up. I think I'm all right now.
John, rebuild the claw hammer and return it to the specimens. Wow, that's like the first John command in a while.
Mm.
You are getting way better at this sort of thing.
John, confront Pogo Ride to prepare yourself for Nana.
Thank God your sanity has returned so you can entertain extremely rational, coherent thoughts like this one. You examine the pogo ride from the bathroom window. You do not like what you see.
And now it's the game.
Oh, yeah, this is
Oh, wow, that's so loud.
click giddy up,
Oh,
use the
geez.
arrow keys to operate Pogo Ride, go for insane combos.
I got to 52 points. Can't figure out how to do these combos.
I'm pretty sure you just mash a lot.
It only sometimes seems to register my pogoing.
My high score was 269. Nice.
Wow, you can submit.
I got
Submit.
8,609.
Wow.
I got like 200,000, so I don't know what you guys are up to.
These sons of bitches. Yeah, go ahead.
Those sons of bitches. No one risks painful injury on your green slime ghost pogo ride. No one but you.
Rose, drop something heavy on one of those imps.
Yep. There goes the piano.
R.I.P. piano. Next.
Rose, my piano. Frowny.
Sorry, no nuance to these controls at all. I was hoping to bludgeon the imp without letting go of it. Guess I can't really do that. A broken piano isn't the end of the world, though.
I guess you're right.
You'll need to pick up the spoils in person. I can't interact with the grist.
So that means I have to go out the back door?
Yes, is that a problem?
Well, it may sound dumb, but I was hoping to avoid Nana and her spooky ghost cookies.
You're right, that does sound dumb.
Can you see her in the kitchen?
Yeah,
What's she doing? Is she baking?
you could say that.
Are you sure you can't get that grist up to me somehow?
Maybe.
F for the
Right.
piano in chat. F for the piano.
F. I chose to believe the imp with the piano is actually playing this background music. That's pretty good. Rose, use Pogo Ride to fling grist through window.
Doesn't look like that grist is going anywhere. You just never know with these gaming abstractions.
Next. And she picks it.
Ooh.
She pulls it out.
Goes.
That springing animation is pretty satisfying.
Yes.
Rose, drop Pogo Ride in John's bathroom. She drops it in the bathroom. John, get grist. There you go. There you go. Now, why don't you check out the Designix? You can do that while I get to work.
On what?
Piano, level up for slaying the imp.
I forgot about this.
The piano, in its valiant effort, has unfortunately been slain. But if it hadn't, it would have raked in so many boon dollars, you have no idea. So many.
Rose, it's time to build. Nana said to build, so that's what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But this sure is going to take a lot of grist. Looks like you're going to be busy, John.
Well, what are you building?
Stairs. They are fairly expensive, actually.
Oh, man. I could have warned you about stairs, Rose. Sweet Bro and Hello Jeff reference.
Yep. And then we see Rose laughing at the reference. I'll try recouping some of the grist from the catwalk I built earlier.
It keeps happening.
Good. Looks like I can get a refund for earlier allocations.
I told you, Rose. I told you about stairs.
Okay. Consider me fully briefed on the matter of stairs. Now, if you don't mind, it's hard enough to concentrate on this without immersing ourselves in Strider's non sequitur.
Did you know he thinks puppets are cool?
Does he?
He's so dumb.
Rose, use build grist to construct observation tower on roof.
Okay, you obviously don't have enough grist yet for something that ambitious, but you can get started with something of a foundation for upward construction at least.
God, that looks completely not physically possible IRL.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the game abstractions again.
Yeah. John, check cabinets for imps or other useful items.
No imps in here, just a lot of shaving cream. Dads love shaving. It's basically all they do, when they're not baking, that is.
John, bring 2 cans of shaving cream.
You capsule lock 2 cans of shaving cream, just in case. You never know when you'll need to bust out a hilarious shaving cream Santa beard to ratchet up your prankster's gambit. Your telescope goes flying out the window.
John, ride Pogo Ride.
It's a little cramped in here for any sort of proper reckless pogoing. You'll just grab it and hang on to it until the right moment presents itself. The towel floats back down onto the rack. The circle of stupidity is complete.
Rose, check up on Nana Quinn, see what's cooking.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
There's a lot of cookies.
Yeah.
She's working fast.
The imp tries to take a cookie and gets exploded. John, make your way to the study. And his path is blocked by 2 more imps. One of them has a spear that presumably it's took from the living room.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
assuming it was like the fire poker.
Next.
It looks like the imps have taken a shining to the Cruxtruder. Cruxite and black goo everywhere.
John, ride Slimer Pogo and one-up that imp.
Well, okay. It's not a Slimer Pogo, but you mount it anyway and brandish your deadly armaments.
It's legally distinct from Slimer.
John, ride your steed to victory.
Got good control over that thing.
Yeah.
This is incredibly dangerous.
John, flip the fuck out.
Seth says, bug report, Sprite gets stuck in infinite baking loop when prototyped with the grandmother. All right, let's see how they like an old double barrel lather blaster. Whoops, oh shit.
Next. And John falls off. And
all right, let's
loses some health.
I'm gonna look for a good stopping point now, but I'm just gonna go a little
This
further.
seems like one. Okay.
I don't remember what's on the following pages, so I'm gonna wait for a POV shift, and then
Okay.
when there's a POV, Mr. John respectfully ask that you please stand up.
Don't move
Okay.
or the pogo gets it.
There's one at 508.
Oh, is that cool?
Okay.
Now, sir boy, flee from this boorish rabble post haste.
Doing another wall jump.
It's a wall jump.
Nice abscond, dude.
Oh, yeah. I can't do that. Refrigerator. Level up for slaying imp.
Oh my gosh, this flashing image.
Yeah.
The refrigerator skyrockets up the echelon ladder to a new rung, 5-star General Electric, and earns 285 boon dollars. Things are really looking up for this feisty appliance.
Well done, John. Polite congratulations.
For some reason, you feel a sense of positive reinforcement. Wherever that feeling is coming from, it sure is a welcome change from your erratic moods earlier.
Now, my civil fellow, I have a well-mannered query to ask.
I blocked the entrance to the study to give you some space to work with the Designix. John, imp's behind you. Should I take care of it? You trapped your PDA again, didn't you? Why did you have to pick up all that stupid shaving cream? So pointless. Rose, drop something heavy on one of those imps. She picks up the safe. And
Puts it through the house.
good job, Rose. Oh, and a very ancient copy of Colonel Sassacres
Yeah.
falls out.
Yes.
John, might I bother you for...
Hey, that's my line.
Oh, right, sorry.
Yeah. John, might I bother you for a can opener?
Oblivious to the commotion behind you, you suddenly find yourself pondering the whereabouts of a can opener. You think there's probably one in the kitchen, but the path is blocked by your refrigerator.
John
is completely unresponsive. What the hell is that nincompoop doing?
And there's another white appendage.
Yeah, there is another white appendage on the painting. And then we go to another years in the future page, but let's not get totally carried away here. A studious eye darts about a page like a honeybee gathering the nectar of wisdom. But I think we're going to leave it there for now.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's about halfway through Act 2. So if I do another stream, then I... bug report. Narrators are stealing each other's lines. Says Session. If we do another stream, which I think I'll do another one maybe next week. It'd be nice to do one on 4/13, but that's Monday.
2 days from now.
Yeah,
on
I'm
Monday.
not gonna have time for that. So I guess this is my my happy 4/13. I wish you all a happy 4/13. And
yeah. I mean, I guess yesterday was 4/10.
True, the beta, the alpha or whatever, the beta version or whatever we call it. Yeah. So thanks for coming. This is pretty fun. And thank you once again for joining me, both Hex and Evan.
I had fun.
It was fun.
It was a good time. Would you be down to do it again?
Yes,
absolutely.
I would.
Yeah, if there's anyone else in the chat who would be like interested in joining too, like we could maybe have a rotating cast or something, but I don't know. If so, just mention it in the chat and I'll get in touch about possibly doing that in the future. But either way, hopefully in our next stream we'll get to the end of Act 2, and I think that can be it for now. Thanks for coming, Sammy. Thanks, Randy. Anything else to say before we go?
No.
I can't think of a Homestuck meme.
I warned you about stairs.
I warned you about stairs.
All right, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna put an end to this stream. Take care. Stay safe. Stay stuck at home.
Remain.
Well, hopefully not. But
yes. I mean, stay in your houses until it's safe to leave.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Okay, I have ended the stream.